We'll go live in just a second. Hello everyone and welcome once again to the STPL. Sorry for the delay, I was ready and then I wasn't, so a little bit later today, not really too much I could have done about that. But it's a new week, week 5 now, a different set of maps, and it's going to be another fun week here of games hopefully. So there was a little bit of something I'll show in the first matchup that was a little bit regrettable, but it doesn't really matter too much. So, without further ado, let's actually say who are going to be the players in this week, or who's actually going to be the teams we're going to start off with, and then we can go into the players and whatnot. So, here we go, let's head on over. Okay, as you can see, we are going to start this week with Red versus SK Alpha. Now, Red, 2 wins, 1 loss so far. This is going to be their 4th game. And SK Alpha on a complete roll, 4-0 to them at the moment. But with a little bit of news coming up soon, that may change this week. Not too sure, but it's about time we found out. So what maps are we going to see first of all? And then we can go into what the games are going to be. So the maps today, starting off with Judgment Day, moving on to Sinchapungyong, moving on to New Empire of the Sun, moving on to Pathfinder, and finally in the ace match, gonna go to Grand Line SE to round off the series. So let's see what players are gonna be playing today. It's gonna be okay. So here's where the bit of news is: Terra has left SK Alpha, so he has not turned up for his game this week. So Red will be starting off with a 1-0 lead. But starting us off, we're going to have Warrior versus Magician, a ZVZ on Sinchapungyong. Move on to a ZVZ between... Wait, what the hell is last to Zerg? A ZVT between last on New Empire of the Sun. And finally, a ZVP between Kerr and DeWalt. And if we get to the ace match, we'll have to find out who the players are as we get there. But let's have a quick look at the players. And let's see their stats. So as you can see at ZVZ, Warrior has only played 1 game, he did lose. And this is Magician's debut game for SK Alpha. He was playing for SK Bravo before, but he did get promoted into their A team. So here we see him in Alpha. And the map they are going to be battling off against is going to be Sinchapungyong. Gonna be a CPZ, so no real map balance does come into it, but pretty cool map overall, very good for Lings to sort of run around the back and things like that, so that should be pretty fun. And looking forward to see how both of them sort of perform in this series. Is Magician gonna bring his A game? Now he is in SK Alpha. Let's find out as we move on over to the game and get started with our first game of this week. Okay, so starting us off in the bottom left position, that will be the 7 o'clock position. It's the red Zerg. Well, it's red in both ways, red for his team and his color. It is Warrior. with the link speak in his name. And spawning in the top right, we do have his opponent in the 2 o'clock position. It's going to be the Teal Zerg Magician. Now, as I said, CVZ starting us off. Kind of a cool matchup. Once again, it's one of the matchups I didn't really like when I first started on Brood War, but I certainly did come to love it. And you know what? It's really exciting. Sometimes they can be over very quickly, and other times you have like an hour-long TVZ. Or an hour-long CVZ. Now, I've not seen one of those in a very long time. The last one I saw was True Touch versus Tai 2. In one of the very early Clash for Chars on New Sniper Ridge. Now that was a very interesting game, to say the least. Looks like both of them going to be saving up for 9 something. So it looks like Magician's gone for that 9 pool. And we see Warrior, looks like he's going for a 12 hatch here, possibly, maybe a 12 pool. But 9 pool with gas coming up for Magician. And that is going to be very important. If Warrior does go for 12 pool, it could be very, very dangerous. Looks like we do, of course, have the second Overlord a lot quicker for Magician here. But this should be a very entertaining matchup. Here we go. Looks like we will actually have a 12 pool here from Warrior. So all is not lost. He's not playing super greedy. Of course, 12 pool can hold off 9 pool. 12 hatch can even hold off 9 pool, but it is incredibly difficult. But luckily for him, he won't need to worry about that too much. Now, are we going to see a lair first or speed first here from Magician? Of course, he does have the opportunity to go for both routes. Looks like we will have Warrior going for the very quick expansion here off the back of this 12 pool, 11 hatch, interestingly enough. Saving up his minerals there, yeah. So 12 pool, 11 hatch from him. And it looks like we do have the first set of Lings coming up for Magician. It looks like he did go in for Ling speed as well. Yes, he did. There we go. And he will be going for a very quick lair, most likely after this. So, if you have just tuned in, guys, this is week 5 of the STPL. I find it hard to believe we've actually been here for 5 weeks already. But you know what? It's been a lot of fun so far, and there are many, many weeks ahead of us. There is at least... I don't want to do maths on stream. At least another 28 weeks, and that's just in the group stages. No, sorry, not 28 weeks, 21 weeks. 23 weeks, even. Because there's 7 weeks per group stage, and there's 2 weeks left after this of round 1, and then you've of course got the playoff weeks and things like that as well. So there is plenty more STPL action coming your way very, very shortly, and should be a lot of fun. But here we go, we have the first engagement coming in from Magician, trying to pick his way through the Lings. Doesn't get that much damage done, does take a little bit of health off of all of them. But here we go, another group of Lings coming in. Is this going to be enough for him to push through? It looks like Warrior been pushed back onto his ramp, and there are extra Lings coming in here for Magician. Now, did Warrior play a little bit too greedy here? Did he try and drone up behind this? And if he did, that could be a very dangerous position for him to be in. But he does have more Lings now. He's trying to push down the ramp. But a really nice concave here by Magician. And there are so many Lings here for Magician. I'm not sure Warrior can hold. He's going to do the best to hold on the ramp. Another couple of Lings do spawn in defense. Now, if Warrior can hold this hatchery and keep it alive, he may be able to still hold on to this game. But Magician doing a lot of damage. That hatchery very, very low. It's on 200 HP. Leaving a couple to try and deal with this, but here we go, more reinforcing Lings coming in from Warrior, and this is a very, very dangerous position for him to be in. He could lose the hatchery on 5 health, and it goes down! Magician with a huge amount of damage there. Gonna push back the build of Warrior, sort of reset the game almost. We do have Lair and Spire coming up for Magician already. And now Warrior is forced to go for Lair as well, but of course he is 300 minerals down. That's 300 minerals he is not going to be able to get back. And now we have Warrior being a little bit more the aggressor, but he needs to be careful. This is a very nice concave at the top of the ramp here for Magician. And Warrior is just bleeding Lings at the moment. I don't think our Teal Zerg player lost any Lings there whatsoever. And I think this is more of a desperation move by Warrior. He needs to be careful. It looks like he's trying to add Okay, so he's not adding another hatchery. He's building more and more lings. They're going to flood across the map. But here we go, Magician with the higher ling count. Going to try and push back Warrior. And this could be a very, very dangerous position for him to be in. There is about 7 lings, I think, there. I can't actually count what they're running along. 8 even. Against 7? Yeah, that's against 7, but here we go. 2 more lings do come in. This is a very intensive micro battle here, as both players trying to jostle for position on the map. But with the Spire done now for Magician, we should see some Mutless popping out soon. May even see some Scourge to go in immediately. But with the later Spire, Warrior has chosen to go for the Evo Chamber, gone for the Creep Colony. And they are 2 extra drones he does not have. He's still been building lings. And it looks like we did actually have a little bit of an engagement. The lings of Warrior not really doing too much, all actually going down. But we do have a couple of Overlords just trying to flee as well, as the first Mutless should be out very, very shortly. And it looks like maybe Warrior did pull back to his ramp. Kind of missed that on the minimap, unfortunately. But thank you very much for the bid donation there, Creative, or the cheer, I don't know what you'd call it. I guess it's a cheer, but here we go. Looks like more and more links have been produced by Magician. Is this going to be enough to actually break up the ramp of Warrior? Warrior trying to send a couple of links out around the edge of the map. Of course, he does have the ability to do that, making sure there's no units being morphed up here or anything crazy like that. Of course, he did see the Spire, so he should know that there will be units coming in soon from that. And as you can see, the first Mutalisk is on the way. Going to be able to help take down some of these lings at the top of the ramp. And that is when things are going to get incredibly dicey for Warrior. Without the lings at the top of the ramp, the lings of Warrior, the lings of Magician even, going to be able to run straight in. And this is very, very dangerous. There isn't a sunken colony here. There's only a spore. And here we go. The Mulists have been activated. Lings pulled back immediately. Knows the danger of this, but this is a huge move. 2 lings of Warrior getting into the main Magician. There's no units back here to defend. This could be a lot of damage here. There's no units actually popping out the eggs anytime soon either. And as you can see by the minimap, Magician's units being sent back immediately. 1 drone does go down. A nice drone drill, actually keeping those drones alive. And I mean, it looks like we do have a little bit of an even number in the Mutless count now. We actually have it in favor of Warrior right now. That was a lot of lost mining time, a lot of lost minerals. With 2 extra Mutless coming in, he should be able to sort of slowly stabilize. But this spore is going to be worth a lot of money here, although it was worth a lot of minerals, it was worth the drone. But even if Warrior is behind in the Mutless count, he can rely on that to actually help deal with the damage, but he needs to do something soon. Magician has his second hatchery coming up, and Warrior, if he cannot expand shortly or cannot do critical damage, is going to find himself in an unwinnable position here with the 2 hatchery production of Magician. He's going to be able to drone up very, very quickly as soon as he believes he has the Mutless advantage. But here we go. Warrior pushing across the map. Has he hit a good timing here? Scourge goes down on one of the Mutless immediately. A second Scourge does go down as well. And this is a lot of damage being done by both players. It's so hard to tell. I don't want to highlight them all, because Mute versus Mute battles are so fun to watch when you don't know what the hell's going on. But there we go, more Scourge coming in. A Scourge does connect. It's 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1, and this could be the damage. It's 1 versus 1 here, and the Mutalisk of Warrior does win. But here comes another Mutalisk here from Magician, gonna push back that 1 Mutalisk, gonna make it very difficult for him to push in. But Magician also replenishing his Mutless numbers, of course. He does have 2 hatcheries worth of production, and he is going to be able to get the advantage here very, very shortly. And this could be a hairy situation still for Warrior. He did a decent amount of trading there, but as you can see from the supplies, he's behind in supply now. And I get the feeling that is going to be a constant throughout the rest of the game, but only 5 drones in the main, 3 on gas. There's going to be another one now. So that'll be 6 and 1 in the natural. How many drones does Warrior actually have? I think we've got 6 in the main and 3 on the gas. So Magician's only up by 1 or 2 drones at most. So it's not, all is not lost for Warrior. As long as he can get his second hatchery up soon, as long as he can do some form of damage, he may be able to get through to this, but it's going to be difficult. Now, are we going to see any upgrades for the Mutless for either player? It would be very good to see those. Of course, Carapace, very, very important in those air-to-air battles with Muteless. We often see that from pro players, but every once in a while you will see a Zerg who will go for air attack first. And that isn't so bad, but of course air attack isn't so useful against Scourge, because Scourge do an insane amount of damage already. The armor doesn't really help too much. But looks like we are going to have a little bit of a lull in the game as both of them try and macro up, try and power up, and just see exactly what they can do. Kind of surprised to see Magician sitting so far back here. I don't think he felt as confident after he did lose that first Muteless battle. Of course, he does know everything that's going on. He's scouting perfectly here with a couple of lings at a time. And this Overlord going to come in. This is a bit of a mistake here. This is going to 100% going to go down to the Muteless as soon as this is spotted. But of course it could be a trap as well. The Muteless and Magician moving across the map now. And is this going to be enough to take the air battle? There's not actually that many Muteless here for Warrior, but he does have a lot of Scourge. This is, I would say, a more modern style of ZVZ. Previously you would see like a few Scourge and like 12 Muteless or something. But these days you see a lot more Scourge being added on. And here we go, the Muteless coming in, trying to do some damage to that hatchery. But here we go, the air battle's going to commence now. Magician trying to run away. He's finding his Muteless trapped in a corner. And this is a lot of damage being done by the moving shots. Nice Scourge connections as well. And I think Warrior may have just won this air battle, and he may be able to use this as a counter-attack here. Only 2 Muteless remain against the 4 of Warrior. Warrior's Muteless micro has been absolutely incredible so far this game. And a lot of lings moving across to try and deal with the hatchery. The Muteless going to be forced to defend, but they're going to run into the Scourge. Oh, he missed micros a little bit and gets a few Scourge connections. And another Muteless does go down. There's only actually 3 Muteless here. And this hatchery may go down once again. And Warrior is valiantly trying to hold on to this, but the Muteless are not doing enough damage. He has nothing on the ground. With proper target firing, I think that hatchery would have gone down, but a little bit of miss micro on his lings there. But more and more lings being streamed across the map. We have very few drones out. The natural still just going to saturate his gas. Not too worried about minerals right now. I imagine he's going to be adding on a lot of Scourge to try and deal with the Mutelisks. But this is where Warrior is going to start to have trouble. He doesn't have the second gas saturated. He's not going to be able to build as many Scourge. But of course he has won both air battles so far. Completely even on supply of both players. And this is a dangerous, dangerous dance here for Warrior. Looks like Warrior's losing a lot of his Muteless, and this could be the moment that Magician needed to turn the tide of the game. This air battle going completely in favor of him. 6 Muteless remaining here for Magician, whereas Warrior is completely lost all of his air units. He has some Scourge trying to fly in now, and this could be some nice connections. Looks like we have a little bit of miss micro from Magician here, losing 2 Mutelisks. That's perfect for Warrior. He's going to slowly be able to pull himself back into the game. And, I mean, this is kind of a crazy game still. Looks like we haven't had Warrior having any opportunity to try and drone up, so he will be behind in drones now. But both players incredibly low economy here. This is one of the most amazing things to me about ZVZ. It's very rare that you see players go over like 50 supply in ZVZ. Like, that's kind of crazy. But here we go. Muteless flying in. They're going to be able to get a couple of drones here, at least one. But more Scourge coming in. Gets a nice connection. But there's only 2 Muteless here for Warrior. He can't properly micro against the Scourge with those 2 Muteless. And this hatchery is going to go down again. A poor drone stuck in the middle of the map, gonna be taken down as well. And this Ling running along with the Muteless wants to join the teal team. But oh my god, sorry, I completely missed this. Drones going down in the main. 5 kills on that Ling. 1 kill on that one. Oh my god, Magician could lose all of his drones here. He has 2 drones remaining. Can Warrior get both of them? There's 1 more left. He doesn't have enough minerals to build another one. This could be absolutely huge. But he saves the drone. He is going to be able to rebuild his drones again, but it's going to take a very, very long time. Looks like we do have 2 drones on minerals now. And Warrior, even though he's about to lose his hatchery, is still completely safe on 1 base. Looks like we have another couple of lings moving in. Going in a little bit too quickly, but that's 100% going to be another drone. And wow, this is a crazy, crazy ZVZ. And I have no idea what to say about this now. We have more and more lings being streamed across the map from Warrior. Warrior knows if he kills those drones, there is no coming back here for Magician. Magician can't even leave his base to kill this. Like, he really wants to kill this at this point, but he cannot afford to send any units to try and deal with this. Look at the mutas patrolling around looking for lings. There's even a ling hidden there with 2 kills. What a boss right there. And, oh, this could be dangerous. Looks like the ling's going to be caught by the mutless here, just about. But looks like we have more and more Scourge being produced by Warrior. He knows he just has to kill the mutless once. If he kills the mutless once, he can win the game. A nice Scourge connection. Can he get another? It looks like he can. 3 mutless go down. And Magician is falling further and further behind. And with less and less mutalisks, these lings could actually be able to run in. And looks like we have more Scourge moving across the map right now. And this could be pretty crazy. That was me putting my mug down in case you heard that. But, oh, the Scourge going in again. Trading Scourge for Scourge is going to be completely fine for Warrior right now. Warrior knows that all he needs to do is kill enough of these units to go and win with his Mutalisks. He only has 4 of his own at the moment. Another 2 are on the way. But of course the important thing to note is this, wow, he's actually droned up pretty quickly here. He's still 10 supply behind, but it's going to be a while before he can start making units again. And these mutless could actually go in to end the game. Warrior has put up an incredible fight so far. This hatchery surviving with 130 health. But here we go, the mutless coming into the main. We have lings at the natural distracting the mutalisks. And here we go, nice amount of damage being done. The Scourge coming in, but he should be able to micro these down with good usage of his mutas. Sniping drones, they're really nicely done. Lings on the hatchery, they're going to be able to take this down. And it looks like this should be enough for Warrior. He's pushing in the mutas of Magician, going down here. The lings getting into the base. And GG! Warrior comes back from the brink of almost a loss early on. And does take red 1-0 up against Magician. That was a really, really crazy game. I'm actually just going to leave the Brood War music on. Just while I show the camera again, going to make sure I've got the VLC video source showing as well. And you know what, there's not much I can say about that CVC other than that was probably one of the best CVCs we've seen so far in the STPL. Warrior and Magician put in a really, really good game there, and I'm incredibly happy with that. That was a really nice game to start off with, and hopefully that's going to be good to take us into the next game. And I don't know why Last is showing as T, but he is, or as Zerg, but he is a Terran, so it's going to be a TBC. So let me load up the next replay, report the game, and I will be back in just a moment, guys. Don't go anywhere. Sorry, let the intro run a bit too long, but here we go. We're back with the STPL. Red are currently up 2-0 at the moment, so really, really well done by them. Of course, the first game was a walkover. Terra did leave SK Alpha, so they got an auto walkover for that. They couldn't replace him. So that's a bit unfortunate, but Red and, Warrior and, I've forgotten his name, Warrior and Magician, putting on a very, very cool ZVZ just now. And the fun is only just beginning, because in the next game, we are going to have a TBZ. And let's have a look at who the players are going to be. Now it says it's a Zerg versus Zerg. I have no idea why it's saying last is Zerg right now. I'm going to have to fix that in the overlay later. But you know what, there's not too much I can do about it now. So let's actually just bring up the overlay and let's see who is, well, I've already said who's going to be playing. But let's get ready to get into the game and we can go from there. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and let's move on over to the overlay. Okay, as you can see, we're going to be having Herbmon, who is a Zerg, versus Last, who's a Terran player. So it's a TBZ, and it's going to be a very cool one. Herbmon, only having one game so far, did lose it. Last has won once and lost once as well, so both of them pretty good players. Like, I've known Herbmon for a very, very long time. I used to practice with him all the damn time, and I used to be better than him. And then, like, he just got way better than me all of a sudden, and now I can't beat him. So, you know what? I'm not going to have any bias here, but Last, I'm not too sure about. He is a Korean player. Not the Last, of course, different Last, but plays for SK. Really cool guy. Has actually taken over as the captain of SK Alpha and Bravo for the moment, because 619 has been very, very busy with something. Not entirely sure what, but really cool guy. He's been really, really friendly to me as well. So both of them, great guys, and I am very much looking forward to them duking it out here. And they're going to be duking it out on New Empire of the Sun. Now, so far, Terran has not won a game on this against Zerg. Now, that's surprising. This was a very good map for Terran in Pro League. But of course, we are playing with amateur players here, so balance a little bit different. Map balance not too important, but both players should do a very good time here. It is actually a very cool TVZ coming up anyway. But New Empire of the Sun, 4-player map, 4 corners. You do have the gases on the on the islands at 12 and 6 o'clock, and you do have the low ground thirds at about 8, 10, 4 and 2, if we're going to say just beneath the mains and just above the mains. But this should be a very cool match. Let's head on over to the game and let's get started with this TVZ. Okay, let's make sure I move on to the game screen because it'd be a bit embarrassing if I didn't. And there we go. So starting us off in the top right position, we do have SK's Last. And spawning down here in the bottom left position, we do have his opponent. It's going to be the Teal Zerg fighting for red, who is on match point right now. It's going to be Herbmon. Just quick, as I was saying before, I've known Herb a very, very long time. I've known him at least since about I'd like to say 2014, 2013, so I mean, compared to some people, that's not very long. Like, I've known certain people longer. Like, people like Telecom, I've known since 2009, for instance. Like, I mean, this is a very, very old game at this point. So, 20 years old, there's going to be a lot of people that have been around for a very long time. But Herbmon, I remember when he was worse than me, and I used to enjoy beating him all the time, and then I took a break for a bit, came back, and suddenly he was this god king of a Zerg player I could not beat anymore. Like, it wasn't really fair, and admittedly, it tilted me quite a lot for quite a while, because I was like, I used to be able to beat this guy all the time, why can't I beat him anymore? But it's because Herbmon put in a lot of practice. And you know what? He deserves it. He did a very, very good job. He practiced a hell of a lot. And this is the result of that. He's a really, really good, strong Zerg player now. And it looks like Herbmon going to be going for a 12 hatch here. Not going to go for a 9 pull or anything crazy. Not really worth it. Looks like we are going to have Last going for a 1 Rax double as well. So both of them playing very economically focused builds. And in terms of Brood War, I've not actually met anyone IRL. And that's mainly because there's like a very, very small Brood War scene in the UK. Like, I've met people from other games IRL. It's just because the Brood War UK scene has always been pretty small. I was planning to meet up with Sale and then he disappeared, so maybe that's why. That was my fault. But Herbmon, of course, an American, last, of course, a Korean as well. So we could be in for a little bit of a treat here. Maybe there could have been a little bit of lag. Don't want to say anything for sure without knowing, but we do have the supply depot on the way. Depending on when last gets his gas timing will depend on exactly what build he's going for. If he does, of course, go for his gas now, then we could see a 1-1-1, but it looks like more likely we're going to see a +1 5 racks from him here. And that's fairly standard on this kind of map. Bio very, very strong on maps where you can move around a lot. There's a big, wide open center that you can sort of dodge around with the bio. Now, is he going to go for +1 5 racks, or is it going to be 2 racks academy? Looks like it could be +1 5 racks here, not gone for a second barracks first. And the SCV finally making it into the main, going to see everything it needs to see. We'll see the third hatchery and the extractor timing. The important thing for him to note is actually when the guys get pulled off of gas. And if anyone does get pulled off of gas, of course, you can go for lair or speed and go to hydras or something crazy like that. But I mean, this is probably going to be a more standard game here. Likely going to see Herbmon going for Muteless. I know Muteless used to be his big thing. He practiced a hell of a lot. So hopefully we'll see how much he's improved. And we will have that engineering bay coming up. +1 should start immediately at 100 gas. And we should have the second barracks being added on. Academy at 30 supply or so. And everything should be fairly normal from here. And now it looks like Last doing a really, really good job keeping his SCV alive. Kind of hard to do this, but we'll in fact see that it will be speed. Because he should be able to see if the layer goes up in the next 5 or so seconds. And the fact it won't will mean there is speed behind this. Of course, Herbmon could be hiding it, but very, very unlikely. +1 is on the way. Should have a second... Where's the academy? Okay, so Last is going for a little bit of his own style here of the +1 5 racks. Not going for the flash style. Maybe has his own that he likes doing. I know a lot of players do have their own styles and they play like it. There's no... I mean, you could say that flashes is the one... true like main one, but of course you do most of the time need to actually be flash to pull it off. Looks like Last did a very good job. He did scout the lair, so that's very, very important for him. Speed is almost finished up. He's building that depot out in front. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go for a bunker when he adds the academy. We do have the third racks coming up as well. That poor SCV getting a little bit confused. Gonna add on the fourth barracks now, and we should see a fifth barracks coming up shortly after. Yes, we will. But the SCV is getting a little bit confused. A little bit annoying to build terror buildings. Look at how annoying that is. That SCV has tried about 4 times. So here we go. Another SCV being sent out. Gonna scout the amount of lings here. Now Herbmon going for a huge number of lings here. He's got the lair. Is he going to go for any spire? No, he's going to go for a hydralist then. So this is going to be Ling Lurker. And look at Last, he's been forced to pull some SCVs. He needs to try and wall this off. That is an incredible number of lings. He does not have the academy finished, so there's not going to be a firebat to help deal with this. And there's no medics as well, so Last has to be careful. He of course does have the bunker, but this is going to be so much damage. The lings surround the bunker. This is immediately a huge mistake here by Last. And this is going to be so much damage coming in. He's not going to be able to hold on. It's going to be a miracle. The SCVs have been pulled, of course. They're going to do a lot of damage. But the lings are in the main. They're going to scout everything. They're going to be able to cancel this fifth racks. No, they're not. And the first firebat does pop out. The firebat hero here. Going to be able to repel these lings, but he does hold. But that is a lot of Marines to be losing early on. The important thing about +1 5 racks is your production is increasingly ramped up from going, say, like a 3 racks or a 4 racks. But when you do lose that small or large chunk of bio early on, it does delay your push by quite a lot. And you know what? This is going to be a dangerous situation for Last. He does have a lot of firebats. But there are going to be lurkers coming up soon as well. We don't see a third base attempt yet coming in from Herbmon. We finally see the drone going across now. And he is probably going to look to be a little bit more defensive. We do have that scan going down on the main. A bit of a weird scan location. Doesn't really see too much. Does see the hydralist then though. Which is going to be his important moment. Of course he can assume there wouldn't be any muteless because it is 7 minutes at this point. But are we going to see anything crazy here? Looks like the lurker's actually morphing in the middle of the map, and this could be a very, very dangerous move out for Last if he's not careful. He is going to have the scans of Flash here to be able to deal with this. But Herbmon running his Lurkers into the bio, this is not the best thing he can do, but does get a nice spine. But of course now Last does know for sure there is Lurkers on the map. He can't be crazy with stop Lurkers or anything. And it looks like we're actually going to have Herbmon going for the counterattack. Going to be really, really nice. But catching one of the Lurkers is Last. But Herbmon, I almost feel like should be borrowing some more Lurkers than this. Here we go. Oh man, a nice Lurker spine. Doesn't target perfectly though. But this is a lot of Lurkers and things moving in at the front. There is a bunker up that isn't going to be able to stay up very long. It's doing a lot of damage. But the Lurker's taking a lot of damage as well. The bunker survives, and that is a huge moment in this game. Herb was completely relying on that counterattack to pull Last army back. There are no sunken colonies here, and this is going to be a very, very dangerous position for him to be in. Damn, looks like he's going to say his Lurks. We're going to like, oh, nice wall. GG. Herbmon knows he cannot hold. And Last will push in to end the game, just to kill the lair most likely, and there we go. One drone does go down, and that's enough. Last is going to bring SK Alpha back in this series. So once again, that was a fairly cool game. Herbmon relied a little bit too much on that counterattack. I almost feel like if it had just defended, he would have been in a much better position, but there's someone called Ace of Scarlet in here. Why do I get the feeling this is Kanenzi? It is. What a guess. Okay, so let's actually head on over to the intro. I'll report the game, and let's head on to the 4th match in this series. See you guys soon. Okay guys, welcome back. This should be a very fun game as well. Let me just start up the music again. But basically, we are going to go into a very, very cool ZVP here between one of the best players on SK Alpha and one of the better Zergs on Red as well. So really, really nice game coming up. It's going to be on Pathfinder, spoiling everything here. But just quickly setting up the rest of the overlay, then we can head on over and see exactly what's coming up, what their win rates are like, and how the map is going to look for both players. So let me just quickly finish setting this up. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful Monday. I know Monday's not the best day of the week at all, ever, but hopefully it hasn't been too bad. Hopefully you've had a good day, and hopefully you all have a very good week, and it's going to be a good week of STPL again. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Let's head on over to the overlay. Let's see what the players are going to be, and let's see how this goes. Let's move on over now. Okay, starting us off, well, sorry, not starting us off. In the 4th game here, we are going to have two great players for both teams. We do have Red's Kerr, who has won all 3 of his games so far against the monster DeWalt here. He has 6 wins, 0 losses. He's appeared in the Ace match twice, maybe 3 times, and he has won all of his games. He is an absolute beast in these tournaments, and you know what, it's going to be very interesting to see who has better ZVP out of these players now. DeWalt, known more recently for his PvZ, up there with Bonnet in terms of foreign PvZ level. So it's Ku, isn't it? So Ku is going to have a very fun time dealing with DeWalt here. So this should be a very, very fun matchup. Now, DeWalt, of course, everyone knows who DeWalt is. He's been around a lot of tournaments for a very long time. But Ku has been around a long time as well. Not been playing in as many tournaments, not been getting as far in them, but still a very, very strong player. One of Red's linchpins so far in the STPL, and I'm very excited to see how he is going to do against DeWalt on Pathfinder, which is going to be our map. Now, Zerg on Pathfinder so far, up 5-2 against Protoss in PvZ or in CVP. So can Ku make it 6-2, or is DeWalt going to be able to hold on? Is DeWalt going to be able to take it to the ace match? This is the only time we're going to find out. This is the 4th game, of course. If you have missed the previous games and you do want to tune in to watch those, the VODs will be going up after the cast, so you can check those out. Of course, there is a Matcherino link that you can use to donate a single $1 to the prize pool. And just quickly, just before I forget, there is a huge thanks that I do need to say. Caspus added another $100 to the prize pool. I'm going to go into the prize pool a little bit later. Let's head on to the 4th game, and let's see if DeWalt can take it to the ace match. Okay, so starting us off in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the Peach Protoss, DeWalt. And his opponent starting us off in the bottom right 5 o'clock position, we do have, fighting for red on match point, it is Ku. Now I just noticed the positions on my overlay are the wrong way around, so let me just fix that very, very quickly. It doesn't take me too long to do, which is one of the great things about the terrible UI I designed. Hopefully the overlay all looks good from you guys, but I'm just saying the background stuff doesn't look very good. So hopefully you enjoy the main bits, but this should be a very fun PvZ, and I'm very much looking forward to casting it. Looks like we will actually have a Forge Fast Expand here from DeWalt, going for the Probe Scout very, very quickly. And just while he scouts, I just need to quickly do something, so just give me 1 second. Sorry guys, as usual I'm getting more and more nasally as the cast goes along, so hopefully it won't really do too much. Yeah, as Face says, it's not really a UI, it's more a curtain, but it should be pretty good either way. So we do actually have an overpull coming up for Ku even. Not going to go for a 12 hatch here, he's going to be quite close to the Protoss player. And now the Overlord should have actually spotted that probe, so that's going to be pretty good. And we do have that Forge coming up, as I did suspect. Usually when the Protoss does send the probe out for the Pylon Scout, usually means they're getting into a Forge. They want to know how many cannons they need to get. So want to make sure they don't die to any like 5-pull or something crazy like that, but not going to be too crazy. We do have 1 cannon on the way. Of course, he has not scouted the Zerg play yet, so this is just to be safe. And here we go. Looks like some things are out. They're going to be able to put some pressure on this probe, but more importantly, they're actually going to force a 2nd cannon here, and 2 cannons before Nexus is going to delay this expansion exponentially, and that is going to be very, very good for him. Now, is Ku going for link speed? I think he might. Yes, he is. So link speed on the way. This is going to be a ling all-in here by Ku. He's not looking to take a hatchery, and as I say that, he's gonna send the drone. So not going to be an all-in, but he is going for speed before hatchery, which is a little bit risky. But DeWalt, of course, is fully defended against this, and I've just realized that looks like the Horde symbol. Wait, I think it's the Horde symbol, kind of. Either way, pretty cool by DeWalt here. Going to be perfectly safe against this. Link speed not really going to achieve too much. It will allow him to catch this probe, which is going to be just annoying in his base for a while, but not really too much else. It's going to achieve just one of those kind of annoying things. There's no hashtags on subscriber emotes, I don't think, and no hash symbols. You know what, it's kind of strange, like, I know I'm going off of the game a little bit just for a second, but the fact people call hash symbols hashtags now, really, it doesn't trigger me as such, but it's kind of crazy how modern language has evolved, because the name has changed and everything. Okay, here we go. More and more links. Oh, actually, there's no more links being produced, but they need to be careful. Getting a little bit too close to the cannon. Of course, we are going to see the probe transfer now coming over to the natural, and the layer is coming up as well. Now, looks like with the second hatchery finishing, are we going to see a very quick spire? No, we're going to see a Hydralisk in here, so this could be... I mean, it could be for 2 hatch lurker, but it could, of course, also be just to get some Hydralisks to deal with any possible Corsairs. He does, of course, have the Overlord in the base, so he does know the Cybernetics core is incredibly late. So it's going to be quite dangerous for him. But here we go, looks like DeWalt going to send out his first link. Going to have to be a little bit more careful, doesn't want to lose that. And thank you very much for the host, Devlin. I guess you finished up your Mario Maker stream already. And looks like we will have Ku just trying to draw it up just a little bit. Going to be adding on a couple more links. I mean, he's adding on more links here, but they're not really achieving too much. They are going to keep the Protoss back in his base. He will see the Stargate and immediately pull the Overlord away. That's going to be kind of important for him to do. Of course, the 2 Zealots are going to be able to start moving out across the map, which is why these links are kind of important. If you don't have any Zealots whatsoever, it can be quite dicey, but this could be a mistake here by DeWalt. He's moving out. He's going to get both the Zealots surrounded, but no, does manage to pull one out of the way. Doesn't get out of the way in quick enough though, and that's a very, very nice link surround there. And that is going to delay any further aggression from DeWalt just for a little bit. One thing DeWalt needs to be careful of is this isn't link tight. Of course, he does have the 3 cannons, but one thing to note is this is a very easily bustable wall here due to the angle that the Hydrals can come in. If he can snipe this pylon, that is going to take out, I believe, at least the Forge from power, but there's no upgrade coming on there anyway, so not overly important. We do have a lot of Hydras being produced right now, not actually that many drones. Going to be more lings being added at the natural as well. And Ku is looking to do a bust here. This is going to be quite powerful, quite strong. We actually have an Overlord hiding in the top left, but this Corsair going to scout everything. And this is such an important moment for DeWalt. He's going to see the drone count, going to see everything that he needs to see to know that there's a Hydra bus coming in. And look at this, DeWalt immediately adding on another cannon, immediately adding on another gateway at the back. He should have Templar Archives warping in as well, and adding yet another cannon. DeWalt knows all he has to do here is hold, and it's actually going to be a Lurker Ling Bust on the wall. This is actually going to be quite dangerous for him. The thing is, I almost feel like Hydras with range are better against the wall than Lurkers are. These cannons are going to do so much. But here we go. The Lurkers getting down, a lot of them not burrowing, trying to tank some of the shots, I feel. But these Lurkers are going to take a very long time to take out the cannons, losing 2 Lurkers for free. And, I mean, Lurker's just showing they're not as strong. He's going to lose another one here. There's actually a DT moving out as well. And this could be the moment that turns the tide in the game. So many Lurkers have been lost. The contain is not going to work now. I almost feel like, as I said, Hydras with range would have been a lot better there than those Lurkers. Of course, Lurkers get better as the game goes along. But he has no defense against this DT. This DT could do a lot of damage. Does Ku realize this is coming in? He has one Hydra, but it's not really going to be enough to hold on. And the DT is pulling the Hydra away from the Overlords. There's going to be nothing to defend this. Ku pulling his drones immediately. Gonna lose 1, gonna lose 2, gonna lose 3 before he can even do anything. And this is just going to be so much damage coming in from DeWalt. Looks like he's going to go for the 4th. Oh, this is big. If he gets the Overlord, there's no detection here in the main end. There's no detection anymore. The Corsair DT working incredibly well. And this 1 DT, a few hits away from death. Going to be able to take down these Hydralisks. But the Hydras are being forced to shoot up at the Corsairs. Ku is going to find himself supply blocked soon. There's going to be no detection at his natural. and there's no detection in his main either. This 1DT with 6 kills, gonna do so much damage, and here comes the second one. Is this an Overlord popping out? Yes, it is. But he is going to lose his Hydralisk then, possibly. There's no Overlord in the main, and this DT is coming into the natural. This could be a significant amount of damage here. There's nowhere for the drones to run to. The Corsair's immediately flying in. 5 kills already. Gonna be 6. Gonna be 7. Can he get an 8th? Looks like he's not going to be able to. But this is critical damage as well. The Hydralisk then gonna go down. This hero Dark Templar gonna attack the lair as well. And this is just way too much damage for Ku to be taking. His attack at the front didn't really do too much. He took out the Forge, but he can't push any further in. And the Corsair's coming back in. Gonna try and mop up as many Overlords as possible. And Ku is being completely outplayed here by DeWalt. Interestingly, DeWalt isn't really doing well with his macro here. He's built up a lot of money. He's been spending a lot of his APM on those Corsairs and the DTs. Looks like he's going to break down the Zerg egg to try and get out of his own base. The Corsairs still doing what they can. 1 kill, I believe, on each of them. Yeah, so 3 Overlord kills overall for these guys. And Ku is going to try and drone up again, but I mean, he's lost so much. He's actually going into Overlord drop now to see if he can drop behind the minerals, I would most likely believe. As you can see, he's going to go for a slow Overlord drop here. But this is just way too much damage for him to be taking. Looks like DeWalt has sniffed out that the Lurkers have moved around. And is this in range? I think it might be. Yes, it is. This is going to be quite a lot of kills if DeWalt isn't careful. 2 kills already. 3 kills with that 1 volley. Another one as well. But these Dragoons coming in. Going to be able to catch both of these Lurkers. And of course, the Overlord is going to go down. And the Lurkers are now sitting ducks. They cannot be dropped into the main. And Ku is just in an awful position here. There's not really too much he can do. DeWalt doing an incredible job so far. Just slowly getting more and more ahead. He's up to 8, I believe. Yeah, 8, 9 gate. No, it's going to be 8 gateways. The one at the front did die. And this may just be too many units for Ku to hold on to. He's 60 supply behind. And how on earth is he going to beat this Protoss army? A lot of the units being transformed into Lurkers at the moment. But they are not going to be ready in time. The Lings trying to get up on top of the Dragoons. There's going to be a lot of damage actually from the Lings and the Lurkers, but the Lurkers going down. The Lings going down as well. And 3 Lurkers, not going to be enough. Another 2 do come in from the bottom. But it looks like DeWalt may just have too much. It looks like DeWalt may have taken this to the ace match in a fantastic game from him. Really nicely played. And unfortunately for Ku, he just has nothing. He's down at 19 supply. He can't expand again. He's just added a load of Lings, but they're not going to really be able to do too much. Do we have any upgrades? +1 attack against no upgrades. GG. Well played. And DeWalt is going to take us to the ace match. What a game. What a series so far as well. Been some great games already. And this is, of course, only the first series of the night. So I am going to quickly throw it over to the intro, and we are going to go in to the ace match here between Red and SK Alpha. So see you guys shortly. Muted myself. Okay guys, if you are just tuning in, you are tuning in to the STPL, and you're actually tuning in to the ace match between Red and SK Alpha. and there are some very, very exciting players in this set, and I cannot wait to introduce it to you. It's going to be a very fun set here. Now, of course, good games so far. If you have just tuned in, the VODs will be up on my Twitch afterwards, as well as my YouTube. But let's actually head on over to the overlay. Let's see who's going to be playing. And I tell you, it's a very, very exciting set of players here in this ace match. Of course, the ace match, the players are not known until the day of the competition. So really exciting to see what players both teams will send out. But here we are going to find out. Let's actually head on over to the overlay and let's see who they are. Okay guys, it's going to be a TVP, and it's going to be between Cryok and DeWalt. Now Cryok, a very strong Terran player at the moment in the foreign scene, doing really well across a lot of tournaments. And he has won his only game so far for Red. But he is against the beast, the monster. It is going to be DeWalt. DeWalt winning yet another game. Is this man ever going to be beaten? DeWalt 7-0 currently in the STPL. Completely insane stats by him. And you know what? I cannot believe what we've just seen. DeWalt playing really, really well today. It's going to be very hard for Cryok to beat him, especially in a PvT. But SK Alpha currently 4-0 up. This is their 5th game. And if DeWalt does win this, SK Alpha will go unbeaten in the entire STPL so far. Of course, there are 2 more weeks of games after this, but SK Alpha do have a bye 1 week. So if they can they clean sweep round 1 for in Group A? If they can, that would be absolutely incredible. But let's actually head on over to have a look at the map they're going to be playing. It's going to be Grand Line SE. Now, Grand Line SE, a really cool map so far. Shown to be quite balanced so far in the SCPL and Clash Royale tournaments. And you do, of course, have the 4 corners. It is a 4-player map. You do have the 9 and 3 o'clock islands with some gas. And the 6 and 12 o'clock expansions with gas as well. But the natural third bases are going to be mineral only. And now that does actually favour slightly different forms of playstyle. Of course, it does lead to more zealots, more vultures, and a lot more gateways from the Protoss player with a little bit more expansions as well. So we could be heading into a really, really cool macro game here. Of course, it's going to be Cryok versus DeWalt, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's not waste any more time. Let's actually just wait for this song to end. And let's head on over to the ace match. Okay, as you can see, starting us off in the 5 o'clock position, it is going to be our teal Protoss player, SK's DeWalt. And his opponent spawning in the 2 o'clock position. I know the overlay is the wrong way around. Wait, why are they playing? Okay, this is not Grand Line SE. Have I got the maps around the wrong way? I think they're played on the wrong map, but you know what? We'll allow it. It's gonna be Gladiator, I believe. So that's a bit of a weird one. So ignore everything I said about Grand Line SE. I guess either they didn't have the map, which is kind of unbelievable, or they just got the maps around the wrong way. I think Gladiator's actually... Huh. Oh, wait, I got it wrong. It's actually Gladiator. Gladiator is the ace match for this week. Oh my god. What a clown. Let's actually just quickly update all the overlay. I got the position around the wrong way as well. Silly me. I have casted so many games in the SCPL now. I've just completely lost track of what map is when. And you know what? Please forgive me. So far I have been a one-man band. There should be someone else joining me to cast very, very soon. And I'm very excited to have them come along at some point. And Kicks did fail. Thank you very much, Dazen. But Gladiator, a very cool map for TVP, very cool map for PvT as well. Of course, it is now one of the more standard maps. I would say about 5 years ago, if you said Gladiator was standard and you'd see it a lot, I would be completely... I would call you insane. The thing about Gladiator was it was built for the 2010 backers off GameNet Star League, where you did, of course, see Fantasy play against Stork in the finals, and of course it was used again in the 2011 TVing OSL between Fantasy and Jangby, so there's been some really high-class TVPs on this map so far. But you know what, really, really cool map either way. It's been used in the past two ASLs, of course it's currently in use in ASL 5, was used to great effect in ASL 4 as well. And now it is a ladder map. Now we do have DeWalt going for 1 gate core. And I mean, that's a fairly standard build in PvT these days. What are we going to see from Cryok? Looks like he is going to build a Zealot Wall. Interestingly, he isn't going for 1 Rex FE. Maybe he doesn't feel as comfortable. He is actually going to go in for a Siege Expand, it looks like. Use it as Marines at the top of the ramp to try and block the probe, but of course, without going for the 1 Rex FE, he's going to find himself at a little bit of an economic disadvantage against this 1 Gate Expand. Of course, he did go 1 Gate Core, then Expand, so it's not as greedy as 1 Gate Expand on its own. He did, of course, skip the Zealot, so nothing too crazy coming Cryok's way. But Cryok is going to have to look to save up. He's going to build his 3rd depot before the command center. I almost feel like he's playing a little bit too conservative. Could be going for an FD, of course. It may not be a Siege Expand. That would explain why the command center is a lot later. And we actually have the Marines moving straight across the map, of course. He has scouted that there isn't going to be a Zealot here, so these Marines could do a lot of damage. The bunker's finished. Can he get the Marines in the bunker? This is going to be so huge. The probe's blocking, though. They can't stop it. The other Marine on 5 health, but 1 Marine in the bunker should be enough to do a lot of damage here, but the Dragoon going to be tanking so much damage here. The poor SCV going to try and get here to repair will go down as well. And slowly but surely, I believe DeWalt is going to be able to clear this up. The Dragoon actually taking it down without dying as well. The fact that 2nd SCV did get in the bunker was so huge. And the siege tank is on the way with mine, so it's going to be a little bit of a delayed FD. Of course, Crowd going to be a little bit further behind than he wanted to be. He has pulled an SCV there that did go down. And he pulled another one and pulled it back as well. But if the Marine could have got on the probes, I believe that would have done a lot more damage than it could have done. But he did need a few SCVs to repair. But this FD, this follow-up could be very strong as well. Looks like we will have 1 tank into a Vulture. That's why he did go for the extra depots here. Siege Expand, of course, not as good on this map, but of course FD pretty powerful as well. A lot of this map does come down early game. Who can control these inburst ramps into the mains? But here we go, Cryok moving in. He's looking for blood. He wants to try and push the Protoss back, but this is a mistake he cannot afford to make. The tank goes down immediately, and DeWalt doing a very good job holding onto this so far. But here comes the Vulture. How is the Dragoon micro? He gets one of the mines. Can he get the other one? It doesn't look like he can. The mine's going to go off. Huge damage. Another bunker going to be coming up here as well. And his Marine's going to be doing a lot of damage here to the bunker. Looks like the probe's being pulled to try and help do some damage. This Dragoon should be able to clean this up. Another SCV will go down, but this is a lot of damage for him to be taking. Vulture moving in. 1 Dragoon not going to be enough to stop the mines from going up, but the probes have been pulled as well. That was an incredibly lucky situation for him. One of the Dragoons does stay alive. A lot of probes have gone down, but DeWalt will stabilize. Of course, behind this, though, Cryok's adding his command center. He's going to add his 2nd factory as well, and he is going to look to take it to the next level here, to the macro game. And I mean, Cryok's doing a pretty good job with his Vulture here. Going to place mines over these little high ground pods. Of course, that is the only mines he's going to have on that Vulture. But looks like we will see him sending that around, just checking that there's no hidden bases coming up for DeWalt. Now back in DeWalt's base, he is going for his patented Reavers. So we are going to see some Reavers out at DeWalt here, and that could do a lot of damage. As you can see, the Vulture just scouting around for a hidden 3rd base, wants to make sure he is not being punked in this game. But this Robo is going to be pretty good for him. Are we going to see him go into carriers late game? Carrier is going to be very strong in the starting positions. And this shuttle going to look to hide itself over here. Going to wait for the Reaver to come out. I want to make sure it's not in range. We do have shuttle speed on the way. If it was shuttle vision, that would be a very, very weird thing. But this is the interesting thing about the way Cryog's laid out his base. He has the factories in a decent position. But the trouble is, if he adds a factory there, he's going to wall himself in. And he's got the depot blocking this as well. So that... Okay, I've just given myself cramp in my foot. That's pretty bad, but it's okay. We actually have Cryok taking his high ground finally. We usually actually see like the barracks here, depot here, or something to help wall off the high ground. But you know what? All is going well for him so far. The shuttle should be filled with a Reaver very shortly. Yes, it is. And here is the Reaver queuing up those Scarabs before it goes in, making sure. And here we go. Looks like we actually have the tanks just chilling. They're in a good position. The oh, this could be a good scout. Can he see the thing? No, DeWalt going between all of the units here, and this shuttle is going to go into the main. This could do a lot of damage. There's nothing here to defend. This could be a Scarab and a half here. As he does move in, looks like we are actually going to have a third command center. Going to be looking to take that mineral only. Shuttle speed has finished though. And how on earth is Cryo going to react? A Scarab does go down. How much damage can it do? Gets 2 SCVs, I believe. Gonna get another one possibly? No, it's going to bug. And here we go. The SCV is actually being pulled in every which way. One more SCV does go down, blocks the armory for a little bit, but does need to be careful. Zella actually blocking his own Scarab, and that is going to be pretty bad for him. Needs to be sure he doesn't lose this Reaver, though. Actually going to be double armory here. Another Scarab goes down. DeWalt with really, really nice shot micro. Gonna have to pull his Reaver back, though. That's a little bit too much damage. Of course, we finally do have some turrets on the way. It's going to be a while before he can get a turret in the main. The armory was actually cancelled. He's going to get an academy instead. Not going to look for double upgrades. Can't really afford to be that greedy anymore. The replay is too fast. I don't think the replay is too fast. Hold on. Let's just bring this up. The replay's on fastest. It's fine. But people always confuse me with that, but this is on fastest, it's on normal speed. It's because shuttle speed's done already, and shuttle speed does a lot. But here we go, looks like we have some Dragoons moving out. Going to try and intercept any possible drops, just making sure nothing gets out of here as well. Could also load his shuttle up and elevate her over. But looks like we will actually have Vulture going down here. We'll scout the third base. Very important scouting location for him. But Cryok looks to be taking his third base as well. A little bit before DeWalt. The important thing for Cryok, or the important thing for DeWalt though, is he does have that gas base. Going to be very, very important. We should have a Stargate on the way. Yes, we do. Now, it looks like we're going to have Arbiter here. But it's possible we could see carriers. DeWalt, very, very famous for his carriers. Of course, Bonith was a carrier guy as well. I think Bonith was more the carrier guy, but don't really see these guys PvT too much. Of course, Protoss vs Terran a little bit rarer in the foreign scene, but it's really nice when it does come up. The shuttle is going to go in, so let's actually hold off on mute myself for just a second. But this could actually be a very good position. This turret, though, in a very, very nice position. Going to be able to scout for that shuttle flying in. But this Reaver with the two, or the shuttle with the two Reavers, is going to be able to take this down. That Scarab took the weirdest path I've ever seen. And how much damage is this shuttle going to do? He's pulled it back just a second. And he's slowly building up more and more army. We're going to have 6 gateways now for DeWalt. Are we going to see the fleet beacon? No, it's going to be the Arbiter Tribunal. So I was in fact incorrect about that, because I thought we may see carriers in this position. But nothing too crazy here. Looks like DeWalt's army just being a little bit timid here. I think he's just waiting for Cryok to try and make a move so he can pounce. He doesn't have that many zealots, so he can't really push in. He is on 1-0. It looks like we should have one attack coming up very, very shortly for Cryok. As I say, it pops up. There we go. I mean, DeWalt is going to have to be very, very careful here. He's dropping the 2 Reavers again. Going to try and pull some of the units up here. And then as he pulls the tanks away, he's going to move in from the bottom. Of course, there is mines here, so that's going to delay. But this is going to be a lot of damage going down. He can actually take down this tank. Very nice Scarabs there. This Reaver on 7 health, though, so he has to be careful. The shot actually getting a little bit too far forward. But these SCVs very, very clumped up, and this could be a very, very strong push by the Reavers. They don't have that far to walk in. But these tanks moving up to try and defend against this. And once again, the shuttle being forced back just a little bit. Gonna try and cancel this turret, and there we go. A huge, huge nuclear explosion going off for that turret blowing up. That's kind of insane. But this Observer going to be really, really annoying for him. Just going to make sure that these Reavers can do as much damage as humanly possible. Going up to 8 gateways now. 9 gateways is DeWalt. He is fully mining off of 3 bases. This base not. I think this is basically fully saturated. It looks like he will add a cannon here. Just to make sure there's no Vulture that sort of sits here, picks at his wall, and gets in. But here we go. Lots of Scarabs going down. Now, Scarabs, very, very hard to hit Vultures with. Vultures can make them bug very, very well. But these Vultures going to be running in to a cannon at the top of the ramp and all of these Dragoons. This is not going to be a fight they want to be taking. But of course, Crowd can afford this. He's got the mineral only. He's going to be able to build a lot of Vultures. He does have 5 non-machine shop factories, so it's going to be 5 Vultures at a time. Going to be 6 soon. And the 4th base coming up for DeWalt. Going to use these Reavers. 9 kills on this one, 5 on this one. To actually help defend against this. Now, if you haven't seen this map before, it is a big ring in the center of high ground. So very, very nice to move Vultures around on. Very nice for the Protoss army to move around on as well. And there is a double gas space here, but I've said before, I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone expand there. So it would be cool to see that at some point. But it looks like one Vulture did actually get in to the main. Did not kill the probe though. So that probe going to get away with its life. The Reavers still being active on the map, just being annoying. 6 non-machine shop factories. Gonna need to look to add on a gas base soon. And it looks like the barracks gonna move out. Gonna see these Reavers on top of the ramp. Just gonna make it very annoying for him to try and push up here. And here we go. Looks like we are gonna have a little bit of engagement. Mines so close to detonating, but just a little bit too good control. But these Reavers going to be doing a lot of damage to these tanks. Can't really be afford to losing these. Oh, gets another tank. These Reavers have got so much. Oh, this could be bad. But there's going to be a lovely Scarab again. Oh man, these have been so money for DeWalt right now. Of course, he has cleared up most of the mines on the middle of the map. And Kryok is finding himself stuck in his base. He's actually not building any units right now. There is a command center moving over to take his 4th. And finally we do see some units coming in. Mines being cleared once again, and here we go, the 5th base from DeWalt. You can see from the money, the macro of DeWalt is just ever so slightly better than Kryok here. Kryok unfortunately not really having too much luck in this game. The first Arbiter has finally arrived. So I think that may be the second one actually. But it looks like he will be able to go for a recall if he so chooses to. Let's actually have a look at the Arbiter Tribunal. There we go. There is recall finishing up now. Did he go for stasis first, or has he gone straight for recall? Judging by the movement path of this Arbiter, I get the feeling it was energy into recall first. Not going to worry too much about stasis. And he is going to be looking to recall on top of this 4th base. Going to be very difficult for Kryok to defend against this, but this is going to be a lot of damage coming in from the turrets. This Arbiter may actually go down. Very nice turret placement by Kryok. They're going to stop the first recall, and that was a lot of energy on the Arbiter as well. This one going to be building up its energy as well. But one thing to note, Kryok is being split up a lot now. It's going to be very difficult for him to take a head-on army. Head-on engagement with a max Protoss army, but there we go. Kryok's supply has suddenly zoomed up. He has added a lot of Vultures, started to add more tanks. Still no 3rd machine shop here. He does have his scientifically low. It's going to be very important for him a little bit later on to go for those EMPs. But here we go. Looks like we have got the attack activated by Cryok, not sending his Zealot, spreading off a lot of damage being done by mines. A huge mine! But Storm's going down. Let's actually zoom out just a little bit to try and catch more of this engagement on the screen. And this is a lot of damage coming in by Cryok, but Cryok with a great defense so far. So many of the units really low health actually. But is this just too many? The Zealots on top of the tanks. The Vultures actually spread away from this. Archons being morphed in the battlefield. And here we go, Zealots and Dragoons at the top of this natural ramp. This may be just too much to hold on, or for Cryok to be able to hold on against. But this is so much damage coming in. More and more tanks sieging on the low ground. But the low ground is not the place you want to be against the Protoss army. They are going to have a field day. But here we go. Lots of damage still going down. 2-1 upgrades for the Protoss. 2-0 for Cryok here. But there's no Vultures left. Zealots getting straight on top of the tanks. And more Zealots coming in. Is this just too much damage? Has Cryok lost too much here? He's put a valiant effort in, but DeWalt is just crushing his army. I don't know why I thought there was a teal dot there. I thought we were going for a recall. But DeWalt is not interested in that. He just wants to push right on in. He is going to take out this third base. He's going to send a Zealot up to the fourth. Of course, the mines should be able to deal with that. Yes, they do. And here we go. More and more mines being pulled up out of the ground. Not really doing too much. Zealots man-moding it through. And I mean, more units are coming out for Cryok, but he is so far behind in supply at the moment. DeWalt has the fifth base. He's adding on his extra gateways, giving him that extra production, and of course giving him the ability to move around on the map, attack from 2 different angles. And Cryok is in such a terrible position, but if he gets more mines like that, he may be able to stabilize. Both players actually quite low in supply right now. We do of course have the Arbiter coming in. It should have enough for a stasis soon. But there's not really enough units for him to have to stasis anything here. A nice Storm does go down on the Vultures as well, making it even more annoying. The High Templar, of course, does get sniped. Looks like he could be building up for a recall here, just keeping all his units on the rally point. We actually have a vessel that was left in the main as well, so a bit unfortunate. We actually had a third command center be rebuilt here and flown back over. So kind of good for Cryok here. Now it looks like we do have a nice mine going off there. That's going to be a lot. Observer flying in over some turrets. Going to look for an area that he can recall, I believe. And I think a good recall could be all it takes to end this game. Cryok has stabilized for now. DeWalt is not pushing in. He's got 3-1 upgrades. Here we go. Another Zealot actually going to run in. Oh, this could be a nice mine drag. That was a very, very nice mine drag there. Getting a few Vultures for free. And they did still have mines remaining. So that is going to be very, very big. Now the Arbiter moving out on the map. DeWalt looks like he's going to take his 6th base in this game. And actually expanding towards the Terran player. DeWalt is just beast moding it right now. He of course does have 3-1 upgrades to 3-0, so no vehicle plating upgrades yet for Cryok. He's not even adding it now, and that is a very big deal. Plating upgrades, surprisingly important in TvP. Does help you survive a little bit more against the Dragoon shots, of course, making it a little bit harder for the Protoss to kill your tanks. But 3 attack is going to be very important as well. Looks like we have some Vultures over on the right. Looks like we have an EMP going down. Doesn't hit the Arbiter though. The Arbiter losing its shield to the Goliath, not the EMP. Some more units going down to the Vultures. Looks like Cryok maybe wants to try and expand over here. But here we go. Are we going to see a stasis? Yes, we are. Nice stasis. And here we go. Another shuttle full of High Templar this time. Gonna move in. Look to go for some money storms. And this could be the final push here. Looks like DeWalt thinks he has enough. He's going to push in. The units aren't very well spread. Storm is going to do so much damage here. And this is just so much damage for Cryok to be taking once again. His tank count finding itself reset again. And DeWalt just doing an incredible job pushing in here. Cryok not building enough tanks at once here. Going to be very hard to continue building those. And once again, a lot of units being taken down, a lot of SCVs being taken down at the third base as well. And GG, DeWalt is going to continue not only his unbeaten streak, but also SK Alpha's unbeaten streak here in the STPL. So good job for DeWalt. Let's actually just quickly report that in the overlay. And let's head on over just to show all of the results for this set. Now, of course, this is the first set of today. There is another best of 5 coming up, so do not go anywhere. Let's actually just head on over to the results screen, see exactly what went on in this series, and let's see what game we're going to be heading into next. As you can see, starting us off, we had a walkover, unfortunately. Eriador versus Terra. That would have been an incredible match if we got to see that. But Terra did actually leave SK Alpha. He's joined Naz now, one of the other STPL teams. Warrior versus Magician. Warrior pulled in a very, very impressive comeback in a ZVZ. But, I mean, once again, SK Alpha starting off the comeback, and DeWalt finishing it off once again. DeWalt is the ultimate ace player for SK Alpha. He's been in the ace match 3 times, and 3 wins he has earned his team, I believe. I believe it's 3, might be 2. I'm going to add another stat to the overlay at some point, just to have ace appearances, just to see how much the teams rely on them. But really, really nicely done by DeWalt there. And last, of course, condolences to Warrior. He did put in a very, very great CVC. Unfortunately, wasn't enough. Herbmonku and Cryok just couldn't carry on the torch, and SK Alpha gonna go 5-0 in their STPL group in the first round so far. Is anybody going to be able to beat them? I'm not so sure. But let's actually head on over to a few-minute break just so I can get a quick drink, just so I can set up the next part of the overlay. It's going to be about 5 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. We are going to head in as the next game to White versus Rev. So that's also going to be a great series, guys. Don't go anywhere. Tune in once again, and of course, when I get back, I'll go through the Metrino codes. But the codes are completely free to put in. There's a lot left. I will see you guys in just a moment. Okay, let me just quickly fix this. I'm going to need 5 minutes, so it won't be long. Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. You're watching me, I'm the guy to the left of me, Kicks SD, and this is the second set of the evening. The first set of the evening was a very exciting series between Red and SK Alpha, and this is going to be an exciting series as well. A few debuts for some white players, and a few familiar faces here from Rev. Going to be a really cool series. Sorry, I just had a large gulp of water, so just made myself a little bit windy. Not really too much good about that, but we're going to be starting off with a very cool game here. I'm just actually quickly loading up the replay so I can finish off the overlay. But you know what? Just because we don't need to do that right away, let's head on to the main bit of the overlay, and let's see. Oh, I just need to wait for the replay to load so I don't go too far into it. There we go. Okay, let's head on over to the overlay and let's see what teams we're going to see here. So, very exciting series, as I said, coming up, and some very cool games, very cool matchups as well. And let's take a look. And as I say that, am I ready? Yes, I am. Here we go. There we go. So, starting us off in the... well, I'm going to say in the position, but that doesn't make any sense. It's going to be White Clan versus Clan Revolution. Going to be a lot of fun. Clan Rev played 4 games. This is their 5th game so far. They are 2-2. White have played 3 games. This is their 4th game, and they are 2-1. White's Terran's doing incredibly well. And White's Zergs not really had too much success so far, but White's Protoss doing a good job as well. And let's actually have a look at the maps we're going to be seeing today. Just in case you haven't, you just tuned in. We're going to start off with Judgment Day. Move on to Sinchapungryung. You know what? I'm just going to show you the back of my overlay just so I can fix this. It's actually going to be Gladiator. There we go. Okay, so Judgment Day, Sinchapungryung, New Empire of the Sun, Pathfinder, and Gladiator. Now, what are the matchups we're going to see here? We're not going to see Ho versus Narsil. Oh man, I thought I had everything ready. It's actually going to be Yes Man. Okay, so we're going to have Yes Man versus Narsil in a TVP to start us off. Ho versus No Nuts in a ZVZ. Famasi versus Zoz on New Empire of the Sun in a TVP. And finally, a TVZ between Bearmoth and Care Bear. Care Bear race picking, screwing up my overlay, but it's going to be a Zerg versus Terran. So don't worry guys, we're not going to finish on a TVP. But of course there is a possibility we'll go to the ace match once again. And as I said previously, it is going to be a little bit before we do actually see who is going to be playing in that. Now, who are our first players here to start us off? It is going to be Yes Man versus Narsil. Now, Yes Man, debut Terran here for White Clan. I think they got him in nearer the end of round 1. I'm not sure if he was available beforehand, but here he is. And his opponent going to be the constant player for Clan Revolution. Going to be Narsil. Unfortunately, he has lost most of his appearances so far. But he's had some pretty fun games and some pretty tough opponents. Now, I'm not sure of the skill level of Yes Man, but they are going to be battling out on Judgment Day, one of my favourite maps. PvT 2-2 so far in the STPL. I've had some really fun games on this map with Telecom, so hopefully we're going to see a pretty cool TVP, pretty cool PvT here from both players. And let's not waste any more time, let's head on over to the game. And let's actually get started, guys. Okay, so starting us off in the top left position, we do have the... Okay, so I need to update the rest of the overlay. Ignore the overlay for just a second, guys. We have in, with the Korean tag, KR tag even, we have a Yes fighting for White in the yellow. And his opponent down here in the white is actually fighting for Rev. It's going to be the Protoss, Narsil. Now let me just quickly finish updating all the overlay. I didn't actually get a chance to do that before the game. So let's just double check all the positions are correct and everything like that. And then of course I've got to do the colors, but that takes like 2 seconds. And let us bring that up once again, and there we go, everything is fine. It's like there was never a problem at all. And looks like we're actually going to have a pylon scout here from Narsil, perhaps looking to go for a gas steal here. Gas steal very, very strong against Terran on this map, purely for the fact it is very difficult to go for that 1 Rax fast expand. But I imagine with the positioning of his depot, he could of course be going for the 1 Rax FE. But possibly a little bit better to go for the expansion a little bit further forward. Now, are we going to see this gas coming up? Are we going to see the gas steal here? Narsil with the perfect scout, going to see everything that's going on. And, I mean, yes, sending out an SCV as well, going to build that barracks in the main, going to create that zealot type wall, and immediately going for that gas. He does not want to get gas stolen. And we actually have gateway into gas from Narsil, so nothing too crazy there. And this should be a very fun game. Now, I do notice we're up to 89 viewers. I saw we're over 100 at one point. The break did mean a few people disappeared, but thanks for sticking with the STPL, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. Of course, if you do enjoy the STPL, it'll be here 3 nights a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So there'll be a couple of games on Sunday as well when we get to the playoffs and stuff like that. So if you are enjoying it, please do think of following the channel. Just hit the follow button. Just so you can see when it goes live. Makes it a little bit easier for you. Of course, I do keep the thread updated. I do, on the different Discords, post all the info as well, so, and also on my Twitter, so you can always find out when we're going to go live. But just the rule to remember is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2100 CEST, so Central European Standard Time. And I'll be here as always, casting away. Hopefully next time I will have a co-caster with me as well, but they appear to possibly be getting a little bit sick, so maybe next week when they join me. But I'll be looking forward to have someone to bounce off of a little bit. One of my favourite experiences I ever had casting was back in 2015 when I first did the STPL. I did a triple cast with Nina Zerg and Quick Striker. That was a lot of fun to do. And I also did a triple cast on Clash of Char with Cadency and Sail, which was really fun as well. I do like a trio cast. I think it does add a lot to proceedings. It's my favourite style of casting. Obviously a little bit harder in the foreign scene to do that, especially in the times I'm casting. Need like European casts and stuff like that. Most of the people I know are American, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, but maybe that's a little bit of a hint who should be coming to co-cast with me. But looks like we do have, yes, pushing away the SCV, going to stop it really scouting anything. Second gateway, so we're going to see 2-gate power goon here for Narsil even. Yes, building his depots in a kind of interesting way. Not laying them out how I would, but yes, of course, a very experienced player playing for White. White is quite a difficult clan to get into through tryouts and things like that, so I did get into White because I'm their foreign caster, but there's going to be no caster bias here, even though it is my clan. Looks like, yes, just scout around, making sure there's no proxies or anything like that. Maybe feeling a little bit on edge, knowing the fact he probably doesn't know too much about Narsil. Narsil hasn't had that many tournament games, especially not in the STPL, but here we go. Looks like we will have an FD push coming in from yes. Now, this is going to be quite strong. Only a couple of Dragoons out on the map at the moment. And am I actually unmuted? Because if I'm not, yes, I am. That would be really funny if I had unmuted myself. I muted myself just a minute ago, but here we go. This FD push could be very, very strong here. Is it going to do much damage? Is Narsil going to get range in time? Looks like range should have finished. He should actually be able to micro this down now. Now, of course, there is a European playing against a Korean. There may have been just a little bit of lag here. But the units being forced back before they're able to do too much damage to the units. And this is going to be very, very important for yes. This could be... oh, he's going to use a Mind Drag to take out some of the Marines! Oh, but another 2 Dragoons going down to the tanks and the mines. A lot of blue goo already. And this 2-gate power goon has actually been neutered. He's going into an observatory behind this. No expansion yet on the way for Narsil. Looks like yes is going to take his command center at his natural. Now, of course, if you've not seen this base before, the naturals are actually here with the gases. They're protected by this small choke and the mineral only. So very, very easy to get the 3 base on this map for Terran and Protoss. But look at the mine usage by Narsil, by yes so far. Actually, He has a lot of mines all over the place. He's got perfect map vision. And just seeing if he can poke in at any location, not suiciding the Vulture, pulls it away at the last possible second as well, and transferring his SCV at the nearly, oh, what am I going to say? You know what, I can't remember what I was going to say, but this map is from 2010, in case you don't know, so it's not a super old map or anything. I'm thinking about adding a slightly older map. I mean, Polaris is 2009. But in round 2, I have some interesting maps coming up, so do look forward to round 2 and look forward to the games on it as well. We've seen the games improve more and more as the STPL weeks have gone on, so I think people have had more and more chance to practice on the maps, but can't have the same maps. Can't have the same maps the whole time. And welcome to Casbas, who has just appeared. He is a very, very generous member of the Brood War community. I know he donated $100 to have at you the other day. He's actually donated $600, I think, to the STPL. So huge, huge thanks to him. With like massive shout out to him as well for being so generous. But it looks like he has made it in time to see his. I can't remember if he is on Rev or if he just supports them, but he has been around watching all of the Rev VODs and everything, so looks like we'll have a perfect scan going down. Gonna see, whoops, my mouse is going all over the place. Gonna see that the Reaver should be out soon, so gonna be a very important scalp for him. He's gonna try and move in to do a lot of damage here. I mean, this is just before the Reaver's gonna pop, and this is a lot of units for Yes right now. He's behind in supply, but these are such amazing mines. What a great mine. This could be another great one as well. Goes down, but the tanks doing so much damage. The Dragoons being forced back once again. Another great mine does go down. 3 tanks still remain. Yeah, Narsil unfortunately unable to do too much. He should actually try and suicide this, but doesn't manage to. And this Reaver is going to have to hold off this push. It's only just spawned now. It's going to run the whole way around, it looks like. And, I mean, Yes is in such an incredible position. He's going to be able to reinforce with Vultures. Actually heading into Goliath, doesn't want to die to the Reaver backstab here. Of course, the Reavers should be able to actually hold off these tanks. One good Scarab will take out all 3 of these. And nicely played. Of course, when you're moving away from Scarabs, if you don't know this, you do not take the full amount of damage. Will he get another Dragoon? It looks like he won't. Really nice usage of that Scarab in the end. When you're walking away from the Scarab, it does mean you only take the splash damage, which isn't quite as high. Are we going to see the Scarab upgrade? It doesn't look like we are. Citadel of Adun straight away for Yes. No, not, sorry. For Narsil. Now, Yes is going to go back to a defensive posture here. Now, as we found out in the CPL cast yesterday, in case you don't know, Reavers do not shoot down. So not going to be overly useful dropping this here, but he is going to move in here. But nice usage of the guy. It's going to take down the shuttle here, and this is going to be a huge loss for the Reaver. But here we go. The Reaver's going to go for a big Scarab. How much damage going to do? Quite a lot there. Gets another Scarab as well. Doesn't kill any SCVs, but does get the Vulture. But does force some lost mining time. Despite everything that has gone on, Narsil is ahead in supply right now. And he is going to look to try and take his 3rd base finally. Of course, Yes, making use of the fact this is a small choke, of the fact that he's done a lot of damage, is going to be taking that quicker 3rd base. Going to be adding on a Comsat, moving out with a Vulture, going to try and scout anything here. Mine's getting cleaned up as well. And Yes, finally going to add on his factory flood. Should see him go up to about 9 factories here. We should see Narsil going up to about 8 gateways as well, once he does get his 3rd base up. Looks like he is going to stick to 5 for now. He is going for Citadel for Zealot legs. And it's possible we will see a Templar Archive soon, but here we go. Once again, the Dragoons moving in. One of the observers nearly going down to a turret. Going to get out just of the way very quickly. Now, it's very important he does have this shuttle. Now, of course, in this game, we do not see Yes going for a very quick starport. But if he did, he could actually drop the natural. There is that high ground, as I showed off before, above the natural bases. And there we go. Nexus is coming up. We do, of course, have the Templar Archives as well. And to quote an old meme, Narsil is showing that... where did Oh, nice. Nice mine on the two Dragoons. I couldn't work out where that went off. White versus yellow on the minimap is like near impossible. If I do shift tab, they both become yellow, so that doesn't help. But here we go. Looks like we do actually have... Wait, I wonder. Let's actually just check the diplomacy tab. Oh, I can't set myself to allies. I was going to say maybe I can swap the colours around, but yellow versus white's fine. If it was yellow versus white in a PvP, I would absolutely lose my mind because, oh my god, how did that mine not trigger on that poor Dragoon? But looks like we do have the shuttle coming in. He may be going for a shuttle bomb here. Oh, he needs to be careful of this mine. That could really hurt him. There we go. Yes. Taking out that mine as soon as he can. But I almost feel like Narsil is pushing in when he doesn't need to. This is a lot of tanks, a lot of Dragoons. He's going for the Zealot bomb here, but the Zealots don't even drop. He's losing a lot of units for no reason. Why did he make this push? I would love to find out after this game. I don't know if he's in the chat, but it would be really nice to know why he was thinking that. I may actually ask Incomplete to send off a little bit of a interview about this game with... Oh, okay, this might be why. I couldn't see them on the minimap, but there was actually some vultures that moved in. A lot of probes did get pulled away though, so... that's not too bad. But Starflash seeing some weird things in chat, but that's all well and good. Looks like we do have a Mine Surround coming in on those Dragoons, but this is a very, very powerful push now by Yes as he moves down onto the middle of the map. This map is very choky, so very hard for the Protoss player to really break through this Terran push. And, I mean, some of the maps here are a little bit Terran favored, but there's very few Terrans in the foreign scene, so it don't really matter too much. But here we go. Yes. Completely pushing through Narsil's army here. Use the missile turret to block and GG! Yes, we'll take the first game for white in this situation. And hey man, I just see you. I think, if I remember rightly, you're either Casper or Gargoyle. I can't remember which of the foreign Terrans you are. But as I mentioned, there's no foreign Terrans. One appears. They're like buses. But right, let's actually head on over to the intro once again. And I am going to load up the next replay. So see you guys in just a moment. I was muted, wasn't I? Oh man. Welcome back to the STPL. Why do I keep doing that? Like, it's really, really bad. But, I was just saying, the colours, to be happy and make me happy, are a little bit better in this game. So I'm kind of happy with that. Thank you for pointing out that I was muted. I would have never realised. Like, you know what? I don't know how the heck I keep doing that. But, not really much I can do about that. Thank you for pointing that out. You just saved me a lot of time. And let's actually head on over to the overlay. Let's see who's going to be playing. I did say about the previous game, Narsil unfortunately throwing away his army when he didn't need to. Kind of a questionable decision, did allow Yes to push back and win. And that was a masterclass in how to punish a Protoss player who wastes too many units. But let's see who our next players are going to be. And let's get ready to get into the next game. So, who are we going to see? We are going to see Ho versus No Nuts. Zerg versus Protoss. Wait. Okay, my overlay is really messed up. I don't know why. No Nuts is a Zerg, so it's going to be a ZVZ. And it is going to be a very fun one as well. No Nuts did lose his first game, unfortunately. But Ho is a debut player for White this week. He did get added to the roster a couple of weeks ago. And I'm excited to see how he does. And let's see what map we're going to see this on. It's going to be a ZVZ once again. And it's going to be on Sin Chopong Ryung. So this is going to be a very cool map. We saw a ZVZ on this on the last series, which I do recommend, between Warrior and... who was it? Warrior and Magician. That was a really cool ZVZ. Is this ZVZ going to match that? There's only... okay. What I was going to say, I'm just reading Radley's comments. That's kind of funny. But yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, not sure how good his ZVZ is. No Nuts not really seen his ZVZ too much either. So this could be a very interesting and significantly cool game. White obviously 1-0 up in the series so far. Can No Nuts bring it back to 1-1? Or is Ho going to take a very quick 2-0 in the series? Let's move over and let's find out. Okay, so starting us off in the bottom left position, we are going to have the green Zerg. It's going to be No Nuts. And starting us off in the top right position, my overlay was slightly wrong for some reason. It is going to be fighting for White in the Peach. Now, what builds are we going to see from both of them? There's one thing I just want to double check. So it selected the player, it just didn't set his race properly. I don't know why that happened. I'm getting some severe nulls on my save button function as well, so I really need to spend some time with my code, but I've not really had a day off casting for a very long time. So like when it gets around finally not being casting, I just want to relax. But I do need to fix my overlay because I had it all working before. Made a few changes. I've got a lot of data to put in thanks to the help of Age from IRK. He got me a lot of the win-loss stats from the thread just to make sure that I can put that all in the database and everything is perfectly fine. I had a few weeks where the database system wasn't working perfectly, but both players not showing their overlord to each other. Of course, it doesn't really matter too much in a ZVZ. They're going to be scouting directly to the naturals just to make sure there's no 12 hatches coming in. We do have a 12 full coming up for Ho, and it looks like we're going to have a 12 full coming up for No Nuts as well. So both of them doing mirror builds at the moment. Should be interesting to see how much this diverges. Of course, it is a CVZ, so this could be a very quick game, but as I did say in the previous series as well, sometimes you can have very special matches and some ZVZs that last a very long time. I've only ever seen in my entire casting career, not that I've been doing it very long, only about a year, 2 years or so, I have never ever seen a ZV. Well, I've seen one ZVZ that went to Hive level in the foreign community. Like, most of the time they end a lot quicker. Pro Zerg versus Zergs end even quicker, of course, due to the fact that Micro is just so incredibly good. But Ho is a very strong player. I mean, as I said before, White Zergs haven't really shown up so far. They've only actually sent one Zerg out, and he did lose his game in the previous one of the previous series. So is Ho gonna come back for the White Zergs? Or are White Zergs going to go the way of SKT Zergs in the STPL? Are they going to be sort of the black sheep of the team? The Terrans and Protosses doing a lot of work. Of course, we did see another Terran being added to the roster and doing really, really well just now. We do actually have the hatchery coming up for both players as well. Of course, Rev have got a pretty good all-round team. I don't actually think they have a Terran, though. So it would be nice... Oh, wait, do they have a... no, I don't think they do. So it'd be nice to see if they could get a Terran into their roster at some point, just so we can see some more diverse matches and things. We've seen a lot of ZVZ and PVZ so far on PvP as well in the STPL, but you know what, that's fine. Like, as I've mentioned this before as well, but about 9 years ago, if he'd have said I would be watching a lot of ZVZ and PVZ and PvP, I would probably hate everything. But you know what? They're pretty exciting. There have been some pretty good games. And you know what, as Radley said, this is a pretty good map for Terran. But we do see a lot of Zergs being sent out on it. I mean, I think I've seen about 4 ZVZs so far on this map throughout the entire tournament. One thing I want to start recording, if I can, is how many mirror matchups we get, because I've been seeing I've been like selecting sort of the wins and loss ratios for the races, but not how many mirrors there are. Now I know there's been quite a lot of games on this map so far. I think it's appeared about so we've had 5 weeks of games. I think it's been in 3 of the weeks, so this may be its 4th week appearing. And here we go, spawning pool is up, of course. Zerglair on the way for... there is a lot quicker for Ho. Looks like he may have skipped speed. But of course, No Nuts did go into speed there. We should see the Spire coming up shortly after this layer finishes. He should have enough gas very, very shortly. But this link speed isn't going to really be able to do too much, unfortunately for him. Now I notice we have broken the 100 viewers mark, so thank you very much everyone for tuning in. This is the first time I believe the STPL during the week has reached 100 viewers, so thank you very, very much. Hopefully you're enjoying the show so far, and of course there are a lot of VODs for you to check out in the background on my YouTube channel, on my Twitch channel as well. So if there are any matches you want to see from previously, do tune in to watch those. What I'm thinking about doing at some point is actually setting up rebroadcasts of the VODs, because that way at least they get shown off for sort of better American times as well. I know this is a bit of an awkward time for America to watch, but really, really cool anyway. But looks like we do have so many Lings out for Ho. No Nuts is really far behind in supply, and most of that is purely in Lings. Like, if we look at the drone count for both players, only actually 5 drones for No Nuts in the main with 3 in the gas. He's actually had to build the evolution chamber because he is going to be behind on Mutalisks, and so many more drones, 8 drones, 11 drones overall for Ho, and that's including all of these links. He has been spending his lava incredibly well. But here we go, looks like No Nuts going to try and move in once again, wants to try and break through here, but this is so many lings for Ho, and this is a lot of damage coming in from the Mutalisks as well. And I think Ho is actually going to take a very, very quick ZVZ victory here against No Nuts. In this game, he takes down an Overlord as well. And I mean, there's more and more links moving across the map, but he doesn't have any air right now. He cannot afford any air, really. Another Overlord's going to be taken down if Ho so chooses to. There's actually 2 Overlords in the middle of the map here. They're going to be free, slim pickings here for Ho. And No Nuts is in an increasingly bad situation. He's trying to drone up, he's trying to get another Spore Colony, and that may be enough to hold off the Mutalisks for now. But what on earth is he going to do against these Zergling numbers? There's nearly 2 control groups of Zerglings there. It looks like Ho is going to add on some drones himself. And this is just way too much trouble going in here. It looks like Radley tries to get Defilers in ZBZ. Godspeed, Radley. I don't know how you ever get to Hive, but it is possible. Hive level ZVZ is a thing. It happens incredibly rarely. I would probably say Hive level ZVZ happens in the games I've casted in about 1 every 100 games or something. It's kind of an insane low amount, and oh no. No Nuts misrallying a drone as well. That is such a big loss to take. Any drone lost is a single lava that could be units, and No Nuts is now supply blocked. Oh no, and another drone going down as well. Misrally all over the place right now, and I mean, No Nuts is just completely decimated here. Looks like he's going to try and get some Scourge on the Muteless, but it's not going to be able to hit. They're actually going to go past, and he knows GG, and Ho is going to take it up 2-0 for White. Okay, let's actually head on over to the intro once again while I load up the next replay, and let's get into Game 3 of the series. You know what? I'm going to pick a different song. We've heard that a lot now. I like the song. Okay, let's head on over to the camera. Let's actually just go back to me. Hopefully there wasn't a little bit of feedback then. Maybe there was. But we are going to head on to the third game. It's going to be on New Empire of the Sun. And it's going to be a very cool TVP. I'm just going to make sure that all the overlay is set up properly. And we have the proper replay loaded, just so we can get straight into the game after this. But it's going to be a really fun matchup here. And I'm looking forward to actually seeing how both these players do. Both of them have been in a lot of games so far already. They've been linchpins on their teams. And let's see how they both do. Let's actually just quickly pause the replay. And we can get going into setting everything up properly. And then move over onto the overlay and just to introduce everybody. Going to be pretty cool. So there's a bit of an advantage already for one of the players. He has spawned in the best color. Don't want to spoil anything, but you should probably know what that is if you've seen any of my casts before, or have known me for any period of time. Let's head on over to the player's screen. Let's see who's playing, and let's see what we're going to see here. So here we go. Let's actually move on over, and let's get into this game. So the players we are going to have here is for White Clan with a 3-0 win streak at the moment. It's going to be FAMAS2 or FAMAS-E. Or FAMAS, as I call him usually, because it makes it a little bit easier. Should be a very cool, or he is a very cool Terran player, and his opponent is going to be fighting for Rev, wants to bring Rev back in the series. It's going to be Zoz. He has won once, lost 2 of his games. But you know what? He's a strong Protoss for Rev, a very important member of their team. And, I mean, we are going to be moving on to Empire of the Sun, which so far has proven pretty balanced between PvT. We did see Dandy beat Dragon on this map, and we also saw Dragon beat someone else, if I remember rightly. It was a Terran player last week. I think it may have been... who was it? It was a really, really cool PvT though. May have been DeWalt, but really, really cool map. Really fun map to play on as well. So if you haven't seen this, it should be a lot of fun. Now, okay, let's actually just move on over to the game. Just to quickly explain the map if you've not seen it before. 4 corner bases, 2 islands at 6 and 12 with gas on them, and low base thirds for each of the main clusters with gas as well. So a lot of gas to be taken on this map, a lot of sneaky expansions you can take here as well. But the natural third, a little bit harder to hold than normal. So should see an interesting game if that does come into effect. Of course, if you do go for something like shuttle play, you can take the island as Protoss very, very quickly. And in a winner's interview that I'm going to post up very shortly as well, between one of the Protoss players from last week, I'm almost certain it was DeWalt. He does mention that after going for... Wait, Was it DeWalt? It was someone who went carriers. Either way, basically they said getting that extra base is really, really good. Okay, so let's actually not waste any more time. Let's head on over to the game, and let's get started with this PvT. Okay, so starting us off in the bottom right 5 o'clock position, it is going to be our White Protoss fighting for Rev's life in the series. It's going to be Zoz. Oh, and it was Arcneon. Thank you, man. I couldn't remember. And spawning in the bottom left is going to be the Orange Terran, as I said. A little bit of an advantage going into the game already with the best Terran color. It's going to be FAMAS fighting for white. Yeah, that was actually a really nice winners interview with Arcneon, so looking forward to posting that up. So if we were talking about the best player stats-wise, FAMAS is definitely up there for white. He's done very, very well. But if you're not counting, if you're counting the people who haven't been in STPL, white have best, shuttle, and mind. So they have a very, very strong lineup. They do very well in Korean clan leagues. For STPL, they're not fielding their entirely best players. They wanted to make it a little bit fairer. And also give some of their lower level players a little bit more exposure, of course. All the players on white, very, very good. Like there's a few, they've added some foreign players now as well, so they're trying to diversify. Gyro really is interested in trying to bridge the Korean and the foreign communities, which I do respect a hell of a lot. And that's why well, when they offered to make me their foreign caster, I jumped at the chance because it's really, really cool to see a Korean team putting in a lot of effort to try and expand their horizons, trying to get involved more in the foreign community. Of course, there is a lot of lag every once in a while, but FAMAS looks like he is going to go for Omrax FE here, and we are going to have likely a gateway expand after the core here from Zoz, but we can of course see 2-gate Power Goon. That is possible. And I'm not going to say anything about the match versus Soul, because the thing is, I'm technically the caster for white, and I'm technically the caster for Soul as well. And I know what both teams are planning to do, and that is going to be a very exciting Week 7 game, guys. So, still 2 weeks before they will meet. That they're going to meet in the final week of the tournament. And you know what, I think that is going to be one of the most exciting matches overall. 2 of the strongest teams in the tournament are going to be battling out, and they could be neck and neck for a playoff position. I need to work out all the standings and everything, just to make sure everything is right in the table. Just to make sure it looks good for next week, I'm going to ask Alan Dalty for a little bit of help with my code to make sure it's ordered properly as well. But Week 7, of course, going to be the last week before the playoffs are done. But we see a hidden Citadel of Adun. Zoz is trying to be a little bit cheeky here, going for that hidden DT most likely. And oh no, this could be huge. There is a hidden pylon in the main base. Thank you very much for the follow. Does mean a lot, please. Well, thank you very much for supporting the STPL. Now, is this probe going to go unnoticed? It doesn't look like FAMAS has realized. Oh my god, is this close enough? You can actually hear, because we had his vision before, you can hear the gateway coming up here, and this could be a very, very cheeky, very quick way to take out FAMAS, the strongest Terran that has appeared. Oh my god. That may be a little bit... It's just out of range! Oh man, this is so crazy. Look how close that vision is. If he moves his SCV up slightly, he's going to scout this and completely bop it. But he does not know this is coming, and this could be so, so big. Templar Archives finishing up. Units at the front. I really want to know if FAMAS is going to scout this, though. This could be so, so huge. He's going for factories before detection. The Academy incredibly late. The first DT on the way. Even if he scouts it now, I think Zoz could actually have this. This is going to be... Oh man, he's not even going for a Vulture first either. Oh, the SCV sees it. He's pulled all his SCVs. He needs to try and kill the gateways, but the DTs are going to come out before this is done. He cancels the machine shop, goes into a Vulture immediately. He knows he needs to hold on to this. He's pulled so many SCVs, but the DT's going to pop out. The other DT may actually get stuck here, which could be a bit of a problem. But this is going to be so much damage. The other DT not cancelled, but this is going to be a lot of damage coming down. He needs to actually keep his gateway alive. The probe going to go down to the vulture. The DT not really sure what to attack. He's really confused. He's going to try and save the other DT. Of course, it's going to be a long time before mines are finished, a long time before the scanners are finished as well. But this gateway could go down. I think he's wasted too much time. He's not going to get the second DT in. And a clutch kill on the gateway. They're going to allow Zoz possibly to lose the situation he's in. But another DT at the front, going to take down the engineering bay building SCV. And there's no Marines in this bunker. This DT doing so much damage. Has Zoz been bopped. One of the comsats going to go down here as well. And there is more and more DTs flooding in. The DT in the main has been cleaned up, but there is only one. He needs to kill the scanner. He needs to stop the vultures killing his DTs. This is so important. The scanner goes down. Can Zoz get back in the main? A nice, I don't actually think that's blocking. I don't know why he's not just running through. But the engineering bay goes up as well. Did we actually have a vulture go across here? I don't think we did. They're going to be trying to take out as many of these scanners as possible and going to be as annoying as possible. A turret trying to go up using... Oh, this is really nice, but doesn't get it in time. Using the engineering bay to try and block this. Does he have another scan? No, he doesn't. DT can run past here. I don't know why he's not running past. And him not running past to allow this missile turret to come up. But just going to try and block the... Oh, he's trying to block the vultures in. Really nice move. Doesn't want to lose his DT to the vultures. Such an important unit at this point. We actually have two pylons in here. That's kind of funny. Doesn't have any gateways. Not going to be able to build another gateway. But he needs to use this DT to try and snipe this turret. A nice scan does go down. There are 4 Marines in the bunker. Going to take out this DT. Possibly, yes! The DT goes down. 2 Dragoons on their way, though. Do they have range? They should do. But is this going to be enough to actually break in? He's going to run past the bunker. This is such a dangerous move to make. He's taken a lot of damage here. But going to deny the mining at the third base even more. Going to try and go for the Constat again. Can he get it? The Dragoon targets are not the same, so he's not getting as much damage done as possible. And this tank going to clean both of this up. The SCV is going to be sent to bug the Dragoon out as well. Really nicely done by FAMAS. And FAMAS has slowly started to stabilize. And here we go. Looks like the pylon and the observatory coming up as well. More and more Dragoons are out on the map, but FAMAS admittedly didn't take that much damage. Zoz is going to lose another 2 pylons, which will supply block him. Will deny any possible third nexus as well. And very possible this is a little bit of a laggy game, but the thing is, FAMAS's APM is incredibly high anyway. I've seen replays of him versus other Korean players, and he just has genuinely high APM. Like, there may be a little bit of lag here and there, that's very possible. It is Europe versus Korea. But no one's been complaining about lag, which is really good. I've not had any sort of complaints from anyone playing against White. White did complain the first week, but they did play against a South American team. So I think that's probably why. And not to sort of commit to any stereotypes, but South Americans not really known for their great internet. We are going to have a Stargate coming up. This is going to be 2-base Arbiter here coming in from Zoz. Of course, he could go for 2-base Carrier. We did see Arcneon go for 2-base Carrier before as well. Did take them the island base with a Robo. Nice scans coming in from FAMAS. Going to see all of the tech. Going to see that there is a Stargate on the way. Going to see that there's no third. And that's very important. An Observer being sent straight into a turret. Going to go down. That's a big thing to lose. Not wanting to really be losing that many Observers early on. But FAMAS going to add his second factory. Looks like he's going to add a third command center as well. Oh, sorry, it was Urk versus South... sorry, it was Urk versus... IRK versus White. I thought it was IRK, sorry, DM versus White for some reason. My bad. IRK are mostly Europeans. I believe a few of them are Finnish at least. I can never remember the full nationalities of all the teams, but still a really cool team. IRK doing very well so far in the STPL. And there we go, Arbiter Tribunal coming up. This is Okay, they're not Finnish, they're Swedish. My bad. I'm getting all the nationalities wrong. Rota's actually getting completely triggered here by me calling someone Finnish when they're not. The Finnish Brood War scene quite small. It's like him, Hirmu, Arkneon, and I think there's like one or two other players, but yeah, IRK is Swedish. My bad. Don't worry too much, but here we go. Vulture's going to move into the third base, going to find the probe, going to be able to take that down. Going to be able to do a little bit of damage on the Nexus as well, but here we go. It looks like Zoz is going to try and move in for an engagement himself. He's going to snipe the tanks, and this is very, very huge. This is a lot of damage for FAMAS to be taking. He is so far behind in supply right now. And it looks like Zol's going to try and push in. There's very few tanks left. A nice tank shot does go down, though. The SCVs have been pulled off to try and repair the bunker. How much damage can he realistically do? Vultures in the middle line as well. 8 kills. 9 kills overall for them. But he is losing his front. How many SCVs is he going to lose? Not too sure, but here we go. The Dragoons need to pull back. They need to try and take down that third command center. But he can't actually see it. But so many SCVs going down. Of course, tit for tat, as we see, wow, 11 kills on those Vultures right now. And it almost feels like Zoz is being a little bit too far forward. I almost feel like we're seeing deja vu. We saw FAMAS hold a base with this in a TVZ before. And Zoz, once again, throwing away a lot of units here. We do have a probe, mine, get to see this probe transfer. The first Arbiter should be coming out very shortly if it's not out already. Oh, I think we actually had a mine go down on the probes there. That was pretty bad. Please do not run those. Oh, do not run the Dragoon in there. That's going to be a lot of damage to be taking. And he takes another mine hit. There we go. Okay, what are we going to see here? We are seeing a starport finally coming up for FAMAS, of course. He couldn't expand before, but now he's feeling a little bit more confident. Knows he's killed a lot of Dragoons. And oh my god, there's no defense here. There's actually only 2 Dragoons. FAMAS with good micro can actually take down a lot of probes here once again. Only 2 probes so far, gonna get a third, and nice mine! Gonna catch some of these Dragoons again. 4 probes. Can he get a... Oh, this could be a huge mine drag. He needs to pull his Dragoon back. No! No, don't move your Dragoon there! Huge mine! Taking off so many Wow, wait, what? Oh, the mine kills don't appear there, I guess. But that was most of Zos's probes there. That was huge. What a mine drag. Why on earth did he move in there? Oh, man. That is the move that could bring FAMAS back into the game. He's nearly even on supply once again. He's got enough units to go and secure his third. This probe has finally been taken down. And this Zealot going to go down as well. And that was the moment that could have changed the tide of absolutely everything in this game. Only 4 factories so far for FAMAS. He's adding on his +1 upgrade. So very late upgrades for FAMAS. He did take a lot of probe SCV damage. But man, that was kind of insane. Zoz with a little bit unfortunate micro. The cannon wasn't quite finished. Didn't wait for the cannon. Wanted to try and kill it with the Dragoon. But here we go. I'm seeing deja vu once again. Cannon going to be able to defend against this, but more and more probes being taken down. And I mean, Zoz finally has speed with his reservers. He's finally going to be able to take down some of these mines. But still, this is kind of an insane game so far. Of course, if you have just tuned in, you can see from the top overlay that White are 2-0 up. It's going to be up to Zoz to pull his team back in this game. It's match point for FAMAS as well, so very important for FAMAS to win this game. But still, I mean, Zoz has put in an incredible effort so far. Just losing a few too many units here and there, but here we go. It looks like he's going to try and break the third. But look at the tank positioning here by FAMAS. Going to be very good, but the tanks have gone down. And more SCVs are being shaved off here. Great moves by Zoz, but he does need to get his Dragoons back up the ramp. He cannot be affording to lose more units here. That could be very, very unfortunate for him, but I noticed the viewer count's at 113, guys, so thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying the series so far. And here we go, another factory being added on, finally going up to 5 factories, getting at his first Arbiter. And Zoz should be going into his Arbiters get his first vessel But Zos's Arbiters are incredibly late here. Looks like we did see him trying to go for a fourth base, going to be expanding away from the Terran player, but the Vulture's in a very good position. Going to completely block that with some mines. Going to move his Vultures in. Now, the unfortunate thing of Zos taking this base, I'm not really sure if it'll come into it. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. If FAMAS manages to push to this location, he gets a free kill on 2 bases. That's a very, very important position on the map for Zos to be able to handle. And of course the Arbiters have finally been shown off. He did scan the tech a very, very long time ago. And this engineering bay has done a pretty good job of scouting the mineral patches, so he knows that he's not mined out in his natural yet. So kind of important information. Knows to be sure that the Protoss is going to have either a big bank, or as he has been trading a lot of units away, at least another mining base. But we see FAMAS doing a pretty good job with his Vultures, scouting around. Oh, this is a really nice pickup. Can he actually go in and get that? The other Vulture going to get this, though. Really, really nicely done by him. Going to take that down before the probe can expand. And is this going to be a recall? We have 150 energy on this Arbiter. There's actually a lot of recall defense here. A lot of units out in the front as well. But here we go. The Arbiter coming in. Oh, there's going to be an EMP, though. Is there going to be an EMP? He recalls in the natural. That's going to be by most of the units, but this is quite an important moment in the game. The Arbiter does go down, more and more SCVs being killed, but a lot of the units being killed by this defending force. One of the scanners going to go down once again, but I can't help but feel this was too cost effective for FAMAS. He's not really lost all that much. Scanner does go down, but losing an entire chunk of his army is Zos. And I mean, Zos is trying to move out onto the map with some more units, but he needs to secure a 4th base. He needs a 5th base as well. He's currently even on supply with the Terran. The supplies have been moved, well, have gone sort of more even once again. And I mean, this is just a pretty odd situation for Zos to be in. He's got a big army, but so does FAMAS. And FAMAS has a lot of mines out up here. He is camping away, making sure to get a big enough army to push out. He has +1 attack. Going to be going into +2. Do we actually have a second armory anywhere? There may be one on... No, there's no second armory just yet. So it's going to be 2 attack for him. Not going to go for 2-1. We actually have 6 factories. 7 factories even. 3 machine shops and 4 non-shops. Going to allow him to add a lot of Vultures on. A lot of tanks. And the macro of both players this game has been pretty insane. And there is a third non-Korean now, Rota. It is Behemoth, which is Logan from the Foreign Brood War Discord, but nice usage of the Vulture, picking off a free probe once again. And the Observer just going to check there's no hidden bases, wants to make sure he doesn't die to anything silly. And Radley, please don't say stuff like that. That's... I guess maybe it's not racist in Poland, but that's kind of racist to say in English. Like, don't say that, man. Like, don't ban him from chat, but just be careful. But of course, white in this game are actually orange, as they are the Orange Terran, but here we go. Looks like we have more probes being transferred over to this 4th base. Gonna be looking to take his 5th base as well, adding on this pylon wall with the cannons. And here we go, scans going down, just making sure there's nothing crazy going on, trying to find out the unit positioning, but really, really nice usage of the mines here by FAMAS. Should have about 8 gateways now, 5 gateways here, 9 gateways, double Stargate Arbiter. Going to be looking to sort of ramp up that Arbiter production. Going to go into a lot of stasis, or stases, as Chessy said yesterday in his his CPL stream. Just in case you guys didn't know, I'll go through the other events of Brood War at the end of the stream. There's a lot of them going on right now, but here we go. White is nearing, FAMAS is nearing maxing out supply. He's going to start pushing out onto the map. Wants to try and get a 3rd base here, or a 4th base, but here we go. This Arbiter must have actually been EMP'd. I completely missed that. But where did the vessel go? I guess the vessel either was taken down or something, or it was hidden. But here we go, looks like we do have the Arbiter going to move in. A nice EMP going on, baiting out the EMP with a low-level Arbiter, low-energy Arbiter even. Really, really important for him to do. Now, the trouble FAMAS has is he's stuck between 2 high grounds. He needs to try and take this, but he has mined it up. Gonna be kind of hard for him to deal with. Looks like we do have an observer somehow avoiding that turret. I guess it's just out of vision range. Yeah, there we go. We'll go down now, though. And finally, we do actually have a dropship coming in for FAMAS. He's actually building the command center on the high ground behind 3 turrets. Wants to make sure he gets this up, but this tank drop is going to go up here to the 5th base. And that's going to be a very important move. We do have 1 attack done for Zoz. Looks like Zoz is actually maxed out. I'm hoping this replay hasn't bugged. I don't think it has, but you can never be too sure. 1 Vulture being used to micro down this Zealot. Wants to make sure he gets that, but the Zealot bossing it out. But here we go. We actually have a recall in the natural once again. Not going to recall anything else, but meanwhile the tank drop is going into the top. This recall being not... I mean, he didn't recall too many units there. Only about 9 supply did go down. But here we go, the drop actually coming in, going to the 4th base. We'll scout the 5th, and here we go. Looks like we will actually have the units of Zoz trying to push over the high ground, but really, really nice positioning, actually. One of the observers, I think that may have... Was that an observer, or... I guess it was an Arbiter that went down there. But 2 full energy vessels right next to each other. Zoz is going to need to remax pretty quickly. This Arbiter, I mean, he's not been able to do too much with his Arbiters all game. Even another EMP going down, just making this more and more annoying. Now, of course, FAMAS taking his 5th base. A nice storm going down on these front tanks, though. And another nice storm. Now, the important thing to notice, FAMAS is mined out of his main, nearly mined out of his natural. And that's another great, great storm. The GG! Not sure why, but Zoz gives up here. I just want to actually go back just a little bit, just to see if that drop did anything. I don't think it did. Like, I almost feel like Zoz could have won that game if he just went to remax. What did I miss at the very end of the game? I mean, he did lose his army, but... I just want to have a look at this this engagement one more time, a little bit slower. Just so I can have a look at the supply counts, really. He's got such a huge bank. I mean, he's 50 supply down at this moment. Let's actually zoom up just a little bit quicker, just until we see the final parts of the engagement. But FAMAS is nearly mined out. Like, he does. I mean, okay, here's where Zoz loses a lot of his army, gets a nice storm down, but it does actually kill a lot of his own zealots. It's 140 to 180 supply. FAMAS does not have a bank. He's got a lot of tanks, but not really too much of anything else. And, I mean, okay, if we pause this here, how many gateways does Zoz have? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 zealots at a time could actually deal with this, I think. FAMAS doesn't have his 5th base. Of course, Zoz does. There's a dropship here that will go down to a single cannon. And you know what? I don't know what to say. Like, I get the feeling that Zoz left way too early here. He could have remaxed before the Terran got there. Of course, he doesn't have gateways in his other base, but still. You know what? That's kind of a crazy game. Really, really nicely played by FAMAS. And he is going to take the series 3-0. But if you haven't watched the STPL before, one thing you will know is if there is a game played, I will cast it. And I am going to cast the 4th and final game regardless. If it doesn't really matter too much, of course, every win does count towards the playoffs. So really, really nicely done by FAMAS. Let me just quickly report that win. Let me go into the intro, and let's load up the final game of this evening. Now, if you're just tuning in, guys, you are watching the STPL. I am Kix SD, as you can see there, and I am your host for this evening. We are heading on to the final game of this evening. White did take that Series 3-0, but there is one more game left. It is with another debut player for White, and this time it's another foreigner. So they've added another non-Korean to the mix. He actually qualified through playing their test games and everything, so really well done by him. And it is Behemoth, aka Logan, on the Foreign Brood War Discord, and he is going to be against Care Bear, Avilov, or Avilolov, I don't know. I like to say Avilov, but I know it's Avilov, but I like to say it's because of Avilo. But he doesn't love Avilo. He's named after, well, his name is a porn star's namesake, but apparently he called the name first. I don't believe him, but it doesn't matter. He's a pretty cool guy. He's a bit of a troll though. Balance whines quite a lot about maps and everything like that, but he is a big prominent member of the foreign community, so pretty cool guy overall, so I can't really complain. And we are going to be moving on to a pretty cool map to finish us off. I'm just going to make sure the overlay is all up to date, and then we can move on over. So we're going to have pretty good colours here as well, so not going to be too confusing to try and cast this. Not going to be white versus yellow or anything like that, or peach versus white, which I've seen before, which was almost impossible to see what the hell was going on. But let's actually head on over to the overlay. Let's see who the players are going to be. Although I just did introduce them, but it doesn't matter. Let's move on over for the final time this evening, and let's have a look what players are coming up in this game. Now, as you can see, we're going to have, for White Clan, the debut Terran. This is a debut match. It's Logan, aka Behemoth, or Behemoth. I never say that right. But you know what? Not really too much to say. And his opponent is going to be a Zerg. It's not a TVT. Care Bear is a race picker, and he broke my overlay. Care Bear doing a pretty good job so far. He has been in an ace match previously. Of course, he cannot make it to the ace match this time. That is unfortunate, but still going to be a great TVZ coming your way. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be on Pathfinder as well. So Pathfinder, a very fun map. 3-player map, 12, 7, and 5 o'clock spawns. As you can see, something you may have seen in the ASL 5 candidate maps a little bit more of. There is a pathway the entire way around the mains and the natural clusters, so really, really cool. Really, lots of movement paths and movement patterns for units of both races, or all 3 races. And this should be a very fun game to watch. Very good map for mech in TVZ, so kind of interested to see if Behemoth does go for that. So let's actually have a look in, actually move on to the game, and let's see how this goes. Really, really nicely played series so far, and let's finish off with a TVZ, guys. Let's go into the game. Okay, so we're going to have the Zerg music this time. Not as hype as the Terra music, but still good in its own right. And starting us off in no particular order is going to be our Blue Zerg fighting for Rev, fighting for a little bit of pride for his team. It's going to be Care Bear. And his opponent is going to be down here in the bottom left 7 o'clock position. It's going to be the Red Terran, Behemoth. Sorry, just had to mute myself for just a second there, just to sort something quickly. But it should be a pretty cool TVZ. Now it looks like Care Bear or Avilov not doing anything too crazy. He has gone up to 9, but he is going to add on an Overlord, so we're probably not going to see a 9 pool here. We could possibly see a 12 hatch, which should be pretty good. Now Behemoth going for the wall in. This is a very good wall you can do. Would have liked to see the barracks a little bit further back though, because the Marine is going to spawn outside the wall at in this position. So, and yeah, pretty good comment there by Radley. Of course, White Clan do have a skull on their shirt. That is their logo. They are the Skull and Crossbones. So I believe they were actually a pirate guild back in 1998. I'm not really too sure of the complete history, but Gyro did take over a few years ago as the clan leader, and he is a genuinely awesome guy. Nothing bad to say about him whatsoever. His English isn't perfect, but he does know a little bit of English. Niam Nam on white does have very good English. He works as sort of like an official translator for Gyro. If there's something Gyro doesn't understand, Niam Nam will translate that for him. Everyone in white is really cool. Like, they're really nice people. There's a lot of them that do know very basic English, but nothing too crazy. And what on earth? Okay, I'm officially confused. He's not going to add on, or he's going to add on one Marine, then fly his barracks back. Okay. What the heck? He sees the hatchery. He thinks that there's a Ling coming. But how? Wait, did he go into the main? He did. Okay, so Behemoth making a very strange decision here. Going for an anti-Ling all-in wall. He didn't even build the full wall. Like, he could have finished the wall if he was that worried about things. But he lost a lot of mining time on... Oh man, he's going to feel so bad when he sees there's only 4 Lings right now. He's still got his SCVs here because he seems to think it's a Ling all-in, and I'm not really sure why. Nothing he saw would have said, hey, look at me, I'm a Ling all-in. He did see pool first, but the pool hadn't finished. So there was no possibility of Lings being there before he finished off his wall. So just really confused. Like, I guess he's just playing super safe. He wants to take it to a 4-0 victory. This is, of course, his debut match in a clan league for white. So maybe he does want to show that he is a strong Terran. Maybe doesn't want to do anything too crazy. Behemoth isn't Korean, as Radley said. Or as Age said, he is actually Canadian. Now, this isn't like Sale, who isn't really Canadian. This is actually like a Canadian. And here we go. Looks like Behemoth pulling his SCVs now. He's going for the counter. He wants to take down this hatchery. The Lings are going to go into his main, though. And they're going to catch this one Marine out in the open. And this is going to force either Behemoth to pull his SCVs to the ramp or go and defend. Now, the first Sunken is on the way. But is this attack going to come in before that's ready? And so I am not going to justify that with a remark, but you know what? He just wants to play safely, and this Sunken is it's not going Behemoth's way this game. He's doing his best, but unfortunately everything he's trying is just being completely negated here. He only forced 1 Sunken. He didn't force any additional ones, and Avalov is not one to be like completely thrown off. Looks like the Lings have got into the main, not really doing too much damage to the SCVs. Does get one of the Marines, but only one, so pretty good for him. But this is a lot of lost mining time for Behemoth. He's not really done too much damage. No Lings really have been forced. There's only 4 Lings extra. And the Spire is on the way. 2 Hatch Muteless play is on the way now for Care Bear. He's adding his 2nd Extractor. And one thing that's good against Terran tech builds is 2 Hatchery Mutalisks. So, you know what? I actually have no idea what's going on right now. Like, the Lings moving across the map again. Not really going to be able to find too much damage. There's a lot of Marines defending the base. But with a command center coming up, where is the anti-Mutalisk? He's finally getting an armory. But this is actually quite late. You want to get the armory a little bit sooner because the Spire is already finished. Now, I believe Mutalisk get to your base about 6 minutes. With a 2-hatch Mutaplay if they do get the Spire right away. It looks like the Spire was delayed just a little bit, but of course there is a very small amount of airspace here. Now he needs an engineer bay, he's adding it, but could this be a little bit too late? The first Mutalists have actually popped out of both bases here, and if he goes right away he could punish Behemoth completely. And here we go, looks like we do have the Mutalist moving in. They're going to see everything that's going on. They're going to actually run into the Marines, so kind of lucky for Behemoth. He's not going to take too much SCV damage. I think Care Bear's a little bit too worried about any possible turrets and things, but there isn't a turret yet. The Marine, or the Mutalist flying in to the base here. And you know what, this is going to be kind of difficult, but it looks like Avilov may, if he micros this correctly, be able to bring back an honorable win for them. But the first Goliath is out. Behemoth can stabilize here. He is only on one base, but of course the drone count isn't all that big. Looks like we have got a swell of drones being added on by Care Bear now, so he's not all in with this muteless play. There is of course all-in variants of the two-hatch Muta play, but this isn't one of them. He's using his in-base CC to build extra SCVs, but he's losing them as they spawn. Charon booster's not quite finished, but this is so much damage. He's not added enough turrets. This is a very, very hard map to play TVZ on, by the way. One of the reasons why Fantasy started opening Valkyries on this map was just because it gives you a little bit more of an option to try and deal with these Mutalisks. But this is just so much SCV damage going down. He does have 2 CCs. He's not got any way of repairing them. I mean, he can repair them, but it's not really worth it. And we actually have the barracks floating over the gas, trying to block any upgrades going up on the spawning pool. Not really worth it, but this is just so much damage coming in from Care Bear. Behemoth is 20 supply behind on his Zerg opponent. He is slowly starting to stabilize. He's got Charon boosters finally. They're going to be able to help deal with the Mutants a little bit more. But there should be enough Mutants here to actually move in and snipe this turret. Snipe the other turret as well. He's going to get some of the Marines. Going to pull back. Does lose the single Mutalisk. And another one very low on health. Look at Care Bear sending off the 2 damaged ones. And going to come in with some new fresh ones here. Really, really nice control by him. Looks like we do actually have Behemoth trying to take another base. Slowlings here. Actually going to move in and take down the turrets. This is a very greedy time to try and expand here for Behemoth. Hoping that it wouldn't be scouted. But unfortunately for him, it has been. The CC may even go down. And this is not going well for Behemoth. He's played his best so far. But unfortunately, Avilov been one step ahead of them this entire game. And just so many SCVs have gone down to these Mutalisks. Could even snipe the turret here. He's going to. Gonna get the other building turret most likely as well if he so chooses to. But a lot of the Mutants actually heavily damaged now. Gonna pull back. Did miss a few of the shots there. This is Europe versus America. There may have been a little bit of lag, but probably not too much. And look at Avi. Look at Care Bear just pulling his damage Muteless off again and going straight back. He knows he's got a great advantage. He knows that Behemoth is going to be hurting. His economy is in absolute tatters right now. And he is going to be looking to move ahead in this game. Take the win for Rev and at least bring a little bit of pride back into his team, showing that he is the ace player that they need, the ace player that they deserve, but maybe waiting until the 4th game to sending him out was a mistake here. But Avi, a very, very strong player at the moment. And here we go, looks like the Muteless moving back in. They're going to try and get the armory. Interestingly, going for +1 attack before +1 plating. But look how few SCVs there are. I think there's only about 12 SCVs overall at this point. And the Goliath trying to micro back against the Muteless. Too hard for Behemoth to pull off here. A turret's going down. It's going to go down immediately. Nice moving shot. Going to cancel the turret once again. And Avilov is absolutely picking Behemoth apart here. It's just so unfortunate. Looks like the armory's going to finish before +1 is even done as well. And no more armory means no more Goliaths. And no more hope for Behemoth in this series. Of course, a couple of the Muteless have gone down. An Overlord being suicided in here for some reason. Maybe wants to give himself a little bit of a handicap. But maybe also was part of the Muteless stacking group. But here we go. I mean, this is just so many Muteless. He's actually got nearly 2 control groups of Mutas. He's not going to try and micro both of them at once. He's not Lee J Dong or anything. But he is going to be taking a 3rd base. That's actually just finished up. And we do have some links out here just to make sure nothing gets past. And you know what? Avilov is just doing far, far too well against Behemoth here. I mean, he's still trying to hold on. Behemoth knows he can't hold on any longer. GG! And Care Bear will take the pride back for his team. Not going to go out 4-0 like another team has done beforehand. And going to be able to make it a 3-1. Of course, it's a bit sad that they didn't take it to the ace match. But you know what? It was a great, great series. Let's actually just report the game. Let's bring myself up on the screen as well. That was the final game of today, but don't go anywhere yet, folks. There's still a little bit more to show off. Let me just bring myself up on stream. Let me report the game, and I'll bring up the results screen, and then I'll bring up the schedule for the next STPL games, what day they're going to be casting and everything. But really, really nicely played there by Care Bear. Of course, White Clan with the overall win. Not really too much they can do. They're going to go 3-1. And just to double check, I think that's actually going to make... I'll just double check actually. I just want to get the stats right, because otherwise I'll look like an idiot. It's my tournament. But yeah, it's going to make Clan Rev, they'll go 2-3. That's going to hurt their chances a little bit of making it into the playoffs for round 1. But not too much. Let's actually bring up the results screen. Let's see what's going on with the results for that series. And then I'll bring up the, as I said, the next matchups. But let's move on over to the main overlay once again. As you can see, Yes Man, Ho and Famas with the 3-0 victory, and Care Bear getting a little bit of pride back in that last game there. Really, really nicely played by Care Bear. He pulled Behemoth apart the whole way through the game, and Behemoth with a little bit of a misscout, a little bit of an overreaction, put himself far too far behind to come back, unfortunately. But it's nice to see another non-Korean in white. Nice to see him debuting in a clan war as well. And moving forward, let's see what our next matchups are going to be. On Wednesday, we're going to have Net Wars versus Sai in Group A, and in Group B, we're going to have Ash versus Naz. That game was nearly a complete walkover, because Naz actually waited in the wrong channel on the wrong server, so that was a bit of a mistake. But luckily enough, all the games got played, so I'm kind of happy with that. And on Friday, we're going to move on to Team Liquid Staff versus SK Bravo, and Soul Gaming versus Foreign Brood War All-Stars. That should be a very, very fun match as well. Lots of fan favourites in Foreign Brood Wars, lots of fan favourites in Soul as well. And finally, starting us off in the next week, it's not been confirmed if this is going to be the order, but SK Alpha are finally going to meet SK Bravo in Group A, and that is going to be kind of insane. Not kind of a team kill, I guess. When last submitted the lineups, I guess he kind of. I wonder if they sent 2 people to do that, but either way, that should be a fun match. And White Clan are going to be up against Foreign Brood War All-Stars in Week 6. They're going to be the Week 6 games starting off next week. And finally, just to go through another couple of the events that are going on at the moment, BSL will be on Saturday. Coach People League will be casted a couple of times this week as well, probably as well. And on Sunday, Red Clan Cup actually on Friday evening, so do tune in and sign up to play on that, but tune into STPL, of course. I forgot that was on Friday. But Wednesday, Friday for STPL this week. Saturday for BSL. No About You on Sunday, from what I understand. But it should be a very fun Brood War packed weekend. Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you all enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed the STPL. Please do hit that follow button if you can. If you can subscribe, I would appreciate it a lot, but don't feel pressured to. There's Matcherino codes you can use as well, so do use those. They're completely free. You don't have to pay anything. And thank you to all the donators, of course, and thank you to all the players. Once again, just bringing myself back up on stream. Have a very good end to your Monday, guys. A very good start to your Tuesday. And I'll be back once again on Wednesday. See you all on Wednesday for more STPL action. Thanks once again, and have a good evening. Goodbye.